Well, that's almost impossible when I can't sleep. You know what I'm saying?
I know. All right. Well, listen, I'm going to mute so you can talk. You talk to me,
I,
okay?
you don't have to mute. I would actually like for both of us to give each other a chance to talk like men instead of having to mute and bicker and squabble.
Right.
So why don't we give that a try first, and then we can communicate, okay?
Okay.
If we need to go to muting, then we go to muting, but I don't think that's necessary.
Right.
So I'm gonna start off with this, okay? I owe you an apology for snapping off on you like I did, okay? I do feel like some boundaries were overstepped. Okay, that's first thing first. Um, Nobody was listening whenever I tried to tell them that with having all three forms of identification, going to a shelter is the most dangerous thing you can do. Okay. Um, it can cause issues. It can potentially get you hurt because addicts want anything that they can trade for their usage, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Um, a lot of, with that being a smaller area, pretty much everybody found out when I had my birth certificate. So I was not going to take a risk. Okay. And maybe at 30% in the shelter. The shelters have gone extremely, extremely violent out there. Okay. And regardless of whether there's a locker or not, people will get into those lockers. Um, Now, another thing that I want to point out, there has been reports coming back to me, and I'm not very happy about it, but I'm not going to blow up about it, okay? There's been a lot of reports coming back to me about you and other people streaming my lives and talking a lot of crap. And it started the night that I told you I wasn't going to go to a shelter right now. I would like to see if we can try outside of TikTok. Um, I'm also getting harassed a lot, not just outside TikTok, but also inside TikTok and other social medias. I don't think you guys realize when these videos go out and people start making you look like such a horrible person by editing videos and chopping them and fading them, that things tend to go south very quick. Okay? That is part of the reason why people have lost their lives. Okay? And that's part of the reason why people have taken their own. This is not something that is like a game. This is not something that is good for anyone. First things first, I'm not scamming. Second things second, I wasn't the one that started the begging. When you guys came into my lives, it was my chat asking for help from me. Okay? It had nothing to do with me asking for help. They were asking because I was in an identical situation to this, except there was actual ice on the ground. Not just water spots freezing over, it was already black ice. It was already mounds of snow. It was single digits. What it's going to get down to tonight, where I'm currently located, is exactly what it was up in Alaska. They didn't want to see me unalived because of the cold weather. Okay? And for people to start attacking me over that kind of stuff, just because my chat started asking and I put it up in the background to show people what the price was so they knew that I wasn't fooling them, that's crazy. That is what you call the definition of psychotic, and that is what you call clinically insane. And then to start doxing me to find every bit of information you can and only pick the one thing out of all of the things that's on my record to try to make it out like I'm some sort of child predator when I'm not, that's even worse. Do you know people actually get unalived because they are claimed to be something that they're not? especially that, because of dumb people on social media that want to put things out like that. That's sad, dude. And I'm not trying to down you at all. I'm not trying to say that you're doing a bad thing or anything. I respect the fact that people like you and other people legitimately try to be able to stop the craziness, okay? But here's the biggest thing. Just because there's other scammers out there doesn't mean that everyone is. I may physically look healthy, but my bones are not. My joints are not. My liver is not. I gotta go get checked for colon cancer, but I'm not gonna do that until I know that everything's straightened up and I can get where I need to go. Because all of this here is preventing me from being able to get where I need to go. Because nobody is able to help and nobody is willing to help when they want to. Because of all the craziness. You see what I'm saying? So, all of that being said, oh, and not to mention, it is affecting me being able to find side work as well. So, there's that. I'll be lucky to have a job if this continues to stay up when I get home. So, now, all that being said, I'm going to hand the floor over to you.
Okay. So, with that being said, you know, you just pretty much spelled it out for everybody that your chat is at fault for you wanting money to get a hotel room. Is that correct?
No, I didn't say that I even wanted the money because I didn't. They were the ones that were concerned about me sleeping outside. And when they started it, I let them do what they wanted to do for the first 3 nights.
Okay, so
Okay?
instead of putting a stop to it, you let it go and continue on.
That is correct. I did. And I'm at fault for that part. I should have put
Okay.
a stop to it, but I didn't. And I am at fault for that. I should have. I should have told everybody if you're wanting to help, you need to go to my messenger instead of leaving it here.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
Uh, so here's the thing, and I'm just going to straight out be honest with you, flat out. Shelters are not fun. I know that firsthand. But if it gives you a leg up without even knowing about a shelter and just being judgmental off the spot, that's not really right.
Okay. Again, having all 3 forms of identification, watching the people that are in the area, knowing firsthand what happened the first day I went up there to go eat lunch. As I tried to explain before, when that dude had his backpack stolen right out from underneath him, when all he did was set it down, walk around the corner to light a cigarette so it was wind blocked, walk right back around, and his bag was gone. Okay? I feel like crap because I didn't run after the dude and grab his bag back.
It's not your
But
responsibility.
that's exactly what I was about to say. It's not our responsibility. But I keep thinking, when I see things like that, that automatically throws into my head, if they can do it to that person, they're going to do it to me. And if I got all 3 forms of identification and I've already fought for my identity back multiple times, I don't need to do it again.
But the same can be said for any form of public transportation. So, by that mentality and that logic that you just expressed, you shouldn't take any transportation. You shouldn't ride a bus. You shouldn't take a ferry. You shouldn't get on an airplane because that stuff happens in airports, bus terminals, and ferry terminals every day.
And I wasn't thinking about any of that, but also at the same time, that was the only way I could be able to get back. I was on an island, and I don't have a passport, and I'm not eligible for a passport, as you all know.
But you
All
saying
because I
that
have a felony.
we're the reason that people unalive every day is a cop out. I'm sorry
No,
if
actually, it's not.
if us reflecting people's bad intentions and their actions, bad actions, back at them causes them harm. That's their fault. They shouldn't do the bad actions.
Okay, so let me put it out here like this, okay? You guys claiming that a vulnerable individual is doing bad actions, that's not bad actions. What you're doing is bad actions by making an allegation that's not true.
I haven't made
Okay?
any allegations against you that weren't true.
Actually, you have.
What did I
Many
say
of
that
y'all have,
wasn't true?
actually.
Tell me what I've
Calling me a
said.
beggar, calling me a scammer, doing all this nonsense, making all these videos and stuff.
You were
Yeah, that's
literally just
nonsense.
sitting there begging, dry begging for a hotel room. I watched your lie
Yeah,
there.
yeah, and you know what? There ain't nothing wrong
Okay,
with that whenever it's snowing outside and I'm 30 miles away from a
so how am I?
from a
So
shelter.
how am I doing anything to harm you if you say you're not a beggar, but you're literally
Okay,
sitting
so
there begging for a hotel room?
okay, so let me put it like this, okay? If you were out here, you've been up since 6:30 in the morning, the previous morning, walking to try to get as many miles as you can and try to stay warm through the night. You get to a point where you almost fall in front of a vehicle and they have to slam on their brakes and almost wreck. Okay? You would think along the lines of what if there was a child in that vehicle and they did wreck and they fell off the cliff? My best bet is to stay right here and not try to push 30 miles up the road. And since there's a hotel right next door, perfect opportunity to try to get cleaned up and rest indoors where it's warm, take off the next day and try to get some work, which these videos have prevented me from being able to get work, by the way. Yeah. So when it comes to side jobs, I can't get nothing. Okay, I'm lucky if I even have this position when I get there.
Can I ask a
But I'm taking the
question?
chance.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
So I tried to talk to you as calmly and as respectfully as I could while you were live. I think, and I'm only speaking for myself. And so when you say them, don't add me to that category because I do everything on my own. I ask my own questions. I make my own conclusions. But when I see someone make decisions that they haven't planned out well, they haven't thought through carefully. And then when they get in that situation, turn to TikTok and say, I'm in this bad situation. Can you help me? At your big age, I have to wonder, what are you thinking? Because for me,
It's not what
hold
I'm
on,
thinking. It's
hold
the
on.
pain.
Okay, hold on. If I have bad knees, right? I have to have both of my knees replaced. If
Yep.
I was thinking I have to get 1,200 miles away to get a job by a Tuesday, and I know I'm sickly, and I'm going to tell my chat I'm going to walk there, there's no way on God's green earth that I could have thought that that was possible because I
I
have
didn't
bad
say
knees. You have
nope. See,
said,
you're no,
hold
I
on.
said I'm
You
gonna
just
walk as far as I need to until I can get the ticket. That's what I
Okay,
said.
fine. That's fine. But you know that your body is limited. And
That
so
is correct.
to even think that you could have walked 30 miles or 10 miles is asking a lot. And to say that you needed to be 1,200 miles by Tuesday is already setting yourself up. Did you even look at, you said you were following a GPS. Did you look on your GPS and say, okay, I can't end up anywhere in a small town because I know the resources are going to be limited?
I did. And unfortunately, I ran out of energy before I got here, and I had to force myself to get to the first closest spot that was the safest.
Okay, so then,
I thought I was going to have enough energy and enough push to be able to do it. I didn't. That's my
okay.
fault, and I misjudged my body. I'm not as young as I once was, and I got more weight on my back now than what I did when I started because I've gotten more gear.
All right, fair
I
enough.
don't have
But
everything
then
I need, but I did get some stuff.
Okay, but then
So
you can't be when you acknowledge your own mistake, then you can't be upset if there are people who feel like you made a bad decision and they don't want to pay for it. And I wait a minute, and I've
that's right,
seen you
but
work. I've seen you work. And one of the reasons why I
mhm,
didn't cover you is because I was like, you know what? I saw him actually work hard for the money he got. Now, did I think you had a right to complain about how much you got? Maybe not. But I watched you work hard. In my mind, as a smart individual, I know that my body can only take me so far. Trying to go 1,200 miles when I don't have a penny or I don't have a penny to make it happen for myself, that's not a good decision. And I don't think
Okay,
other
well,
people are responsible for other people's bad decisions.
can you allow me to speak real
I'll
quick,
be
please?
quiet.
So, in response to that, okay, before I left, I had spoken with the lady that should have given me more than what she did. She said that she was going to send 400 more so that I could be able to be paid up. Okay? Now, I was counting on that to hit when I was on the ferry because she said she was going to send it that evening. She had to go deposit some money into the account so she could send it over because she typically keeps cash at the house. So I was like, okay, I'll wait for it. Next day rolled around, wasn't there. Okay? Um, so here's the whole situation, okay? I was betting on that money to be there. I was counting on it. She screwed me completely. Now that I'm out of Alaska, I can't do anything about it. I didn't have a contract. Can't do anything about it. I thought I was going to be covered to get that ticket and have a little bit of extra so I could be able to eat along the way. Get there a lot quicker.
A
Okay?
smart person doesn't count on something before they have it in their pocket. There's actually a biblical scripture that talks about basically saying you count twice, you cut once. You have to be smart. You
When the
have to be
ticket's already
smart.
paid for,
for coming in and tapping this screen. That's all I screen. There we go. That's a little easier on the eyes, right, folks? I had to put that up. To the fact that Aaron wants to continue to keep doing what he's doing, well, then you know what, Aaron? I'm not going to stop individuals from posting videos because the videos speak for themselves. When it comes to awareness, you're putting out exactly what they're saying, exactly what they're doing, exactly how they're manipulating one another people's money. If Aaron wanted money for a hotel and he knew he was getting on that boat, then the minute he turned around and said that he had paid for an extra night, he should have went right down to the front desk and said, "Hey, can I get that reimbursed being to the fact that I'm not staying another night?" But he didn't do that. Yes, it may have been a couple extra days, but you know what? An extra couple of days is an extra couple of days. Then he would have had his money or some kind of money to be able to get transportation where he's from to where he needs to go. You know, fucking and I discussed it early this morning about money management. It is not easy. Well, and he can run his own boxes in his own live. I'm not going to sit here and turn around and do anything different. Let's see if it brings you up. There you are.
That whole thing about the hotel room fiasco, like he could have canceled that extra night.
Correct.
I mean, he could have canceled
Absolutely.
it.
Well, and the other thing is too is that he wanted to spend $50 on a dinner. Once again, this goes right back to what I was saying earlier. This is not caviar lifestyle. This is you got to penny pinch your money because of the situation that you're in. Nobody turn around and force you to be in this situation.
And I promise everybody in this room, I brought the food thing up to him when I was talking to him about the shelter, and he told me that he's been utilizing the food there. That was his words. He said, "I've been eating at the shelter." He said, "I just don't stay there." That's what he said. Those were his own words. I didn't put words in his mouth and I didn't twist them.
Well, the other thing that I want to point out too is that the fact that he was blaming everybody else for his so-called side jobs. How is that our fault? I mean, his so-called side jobs, do people sit there and turn around and say, "Hey, are you on TikTok?"
Oh, exactly, kitty cat. That's what he wants. He wants a week worth of free begging without no repercussions.
Right. And I'm sorry, when it comes to awareness, there is no breaks.
Absolutely not. Yeah, it is super hard. I'm on SSDI and it's hard to manage my money. And I finally got ahead and I'm doing everything I can to stay ahead. That's why I know about budgeting. He needs to budget. He really
Right.
does.
And you and I discussed that this morning in a great live held this morning because that's what it comes down to. Just because I have expenditure needs that, you know, like
Spending a month's worth of money in 36 hours is not sustainable. But he blew that money knowing that he could just come on TikTok with the expectations of being able to come on TikTok and get more.
Bingo.
Like,
That's it. He knew that he could do that.
and it's wild that these people think they can come on here and beg every day and nobody should say anything. Oh, because I'm in a hard time, I'm homeless like that. No.
Well, the other thing is too is that he knew there was hotels that were less expensive in that area. I know he knew that because I knew that because I looked that stuff up without doxing him on that.
Google is 100% free.
Yeah, it is. You know, I might go stay out there for a week.
I mean, that's like when Tim Nash said there was no shelters by him, that they were all full. I literally from South Carolina made 2 phone calls and had one tell me it's open door policy, first come first serve. If you need somewhere to stay, come now.
Right.
So like I knew he was full of shit. Because
And
Google's
I want to point out real quick to the chat, real quick. Let it be known that Fuck It and I did not do anything to aggravate him to get off of this co-host live. That was all of his mods doing. She started the instigation, then she turned around and started the persuasion, and then she turned around and told him to get out. I want to put that out flat out for everyone to know.
Yeah, and I hope whoever he goes and stays with in Minnesota freaking knows what they're getting. It's going to end in a disaster. I've never seen a beggar stay with an enabler and it work out ever.
Right.
And I've been on this app a very long time. Me and All4one have been on this app for a very long time. I've never seen it. I don't think he's ever seen it either.
Right. And to the fact with his SSI not reporting it, he obviously doesn't know the letter to the law on that deal. You all know that I did that in the awareness in reference to Margaret, in reference to reporting the SSI. And let me tell you something. I don't think he has it all written down and jotted down.
No.
I mean, there's no way that he can stay on top of any of that.
I think his only plan was he's going to keep coming back here, and he don't like the heat of and the repercussions that come with begging on TikTok. He thinks there shouldn't be anybody standing in his way.
He wanted his piece of the pie to think that by talking to us that it was going to stop all the awareness. It's not.
No, it's not. But I mean, I don't.
Yes, I did. I did look into that. I saw that. He didn't give me an opportunity to make mention of that, but that's why I told him to start making calls. If he really wants the resources, he's going to make the ring-a-ding-a-ling calls instead of getting on here and asking for money. There is transportation. It's a card that they give you if you are homeless to utilize the transportation in that state. But you have to go through the processing to get that card.
But I mean,
And I did do further research in reference to train activity. There's limited transportation with trains up in that area.
yeah, his logic's flawed. Like he was sitting there talking about, oh, I seen a guy get his backpack stolen right in front. Like, I'm sorry, but I mean that happens in train stations, bus stations. I mean,
Yep.
every day, airports. I mean, everywhere you travel, there's a small chance that your shit might get taken. But I mean, as a man, I never personally think about getting robbed every time I leave my house.
Right. Yeah, there is a program through Greyhound, and I'd have to do research in reference to that, in reference to the fact that he could turn around and get transportation via Greyhound, but it's only to certain specific states that is basically your hometown state. How you doing, fighter?
Good, how are you? Hey, I sent you a message like a week or two ago. Do you have full access to the Tick Leap?
Yes.
Okay. Can I send you a screenshot of 2 usernames to see if you can pull
Yes.
that for me? Okay. Well, I will send that over to you now.
Okay.
Thank you
Thank
very
you, dear.
much.
You're welcome. See, and that's the other thing too, is that when it comes to awareness, there are things that I will utilize outside the box, but when it comes to Tick Leap, it's a public app. Anybody can utilize it.
I like how they all accuse us of making money off of them. Like, just
Well, we're
blow the
millionaires.
dough over here from them.
We're millionaires. Didn't you know that? I'm just saying. Look, what it comes down to is research, and that's why I stated, look, Skittles, she was being as respectful as she could be, and I give her a lot of credit.
He got her upset.
Skittles, just make known that he's your new best friend now. No gives, no takes.
He's on SSI, Aces.
Yeah, he gets what was it, like $967 or something?
Oh yeah, he made a big deal out of that because I said 977, and he's like, no, I get 965. So
yeah. Well, and then he got it deducted, what, 140 out of it. So even yet, that's still a shitload of money.
yeah, just
I mean, it's not enough to live off of. I get that part. Yeah, of course you can come
but
up here.
it should last him more than a day and a half.
Right.
No matter
that was where he went wrong.
You're at. No matter.
Well, and the other thing is too is he used the excuse that he was exhausted and he hit it twice. Dude, when it comes my money, I'm careful how I spend it. But it goes right back to the same aspect that he should have went down to the front desk and said, "Hey, look, I'm not staying another night. I'd like a refund."
Wait, so who's my new best friend?
Aaron.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I need so much more info because he is going to be the star of Dre and I's new TikTok.
Hey,
It's gonna be all about Aaron.
Remember, no AI video.
I know. I can't believe I would go out of my way to make AI about him. I really.
See, that's the thing that boggled my mind about that, because he's sitting there saying that it's AI, and I'm like, dude, you realize it does take a little bit of time to even do an AI video?
And you know how many
that's
people
a complete
were
video
there when he did that? When he called me a dirty Democrat?
No, I missed that.
There was a lot.
I was 100% there. I was there when that happened. He called us all dirty Democrats.
And then he accused me and Dre, of basically jumping him and all of this stuff. You want to know what makes it worse? All4one? Yeah, Tim Nash, most definitely. It looks like he watched Tim Nash and Lisa's videos and he learned. If you notice, when I made the accusation about the 17-year-old, he got pissed. I have video proof of that. He had a girl up there that looked young, and they were being very skeezy and all of that towards him.
I saw him getting triggered.
He was. And I did leave because I was getting kind of frustrated and I didn't want to ruin the success that I had already gotten. I'm doing well, Brenda. Thank you. But at the end of the day, he only wants us to stop covering him.
Correct.
He can beg easier, and it's not going to happen. And I don't think he realizes in his small little Dungeon and Dragon mind that you, All4one, are the king of all of this. He got more exposed than he ever did tonight.
I agree. He definitely got exposed quite a bit.
Oh yeah, we had well over 577 people.
And then the fact of the matter is that he openly accused me of being somebody that I wasn't. I know. I'm sorry, Analog.
Like he wanted to talk about the 127 people he had in his room, and I'm
That's
like,
all and you know, he doesn't care. He literally does not care. He is one of those people that believes that he should have his life funded. Why don't people ask him why he went to Alaska in the first place?
I know why.
I know you know, and I know why too. We're not going to talk about that. Oh, thank you, Public T. I love you too. We're not going to talk about why he actually went.
Right.
We're not going to talk about the fact that we can see him regardless of how he privates his stream, whatever, we're gonna still see him. And if he thinks for a minute that he scares me with doxing me, please try. Because for one, I'm not the one. You don't roll up to my house. I live in South Carolina. We have a stand your ground. Go ahead. And another, you're never gonna find me either way. But
Look, I'm just waiting for the federales to pull up on my front door.
you know
do I need to
dude,
go? I'm
I
gonna call
lost
my lawyer tomorrow, and I'm
I
gonna let
lo-
my lawyer know.
I lost my shit when he said the feds were already after us. Like I didn't realize I got dropped out the box, and I
I mean,
kept talking.
fuck it. What are
And
we
I'm
gonna
like,
wear? Are we gonna go to the same jail? I hope we
I
do.
look good in orange.
I do too.
I think I look better in pink.
I think you look better in any
I'm
way.
pretty in pink.
But what he doesn't understand is tonight there are going to be troves of people who are going. There are going to be troves of people that are going to be after him. And Dre and I, and fuck it, and our little core four, our little scam squad, whatever the fuck you want to call us, this is go time. He thinks that we've been making videos about him now. Peter Griffin has no idea. Not one.
I agree. Looking at this and taking it away. Now that his mod turned around and said what she said, now not only is his mod going to go up on the screen, but now I am going to start putting videos out on him.
He
Plain
accuses
and
us
simple.
of making all of this money and stealing all of his money. Really? You can go look up my earnings. I think it's like $12. I'm really in this for the money. No, I saw his face when he saw me in the box. He got pissed the minute I got up here because
I took notice of that. I did see
knew
that.
exactly who I was because of his little friend. His friend, what was his name? Fuck it, the kid. You can't steal what you don't have. Exactly. The kid that was in and out of our live the other night, and then we ended up exposing Aaron to him. What was that dude's name? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
But anyway, it was somebody that he knew personally. And that was that night that I SOS'd you, All4one, and had you come in.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, that name is on the tip of my tongue.
I know. It's something weird. I can't remember. But he thinks that exactly. And you know what? Analog chat, you guys follow Analog. Analog is amazing. I'm not going to say anything. No, it's not Trevor. That Trevor is Ray.
Analog knows how to.
Yeah. Analog is just the person. It's a good person to have in your corner. He's trustworthy. He's
so much more eloquently spoken than I am.
He can insult you and you don't even know you've been fucking insulted. I love Analog. Analog is amazing. But if he thinks now that we're going to leave him alone, not only do I have Frauditor Reaper, who is going to rip him to shreds. Shout out Frauditor Reaper on YouTube. Please go check her out. Dre and I are not going to stop. And every other awareness, commentary, whatever the hell you call yourself, we're done. It's it.
Yeah.
I'm going to rip him to shreds. I will be a dirty Democrat. Thank you very much. I might change my name
I
to
got
Ted.
a real quick question to ask you guys. Do you guys know who Awareness T is?
Not a clue.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
I've heard of them.
I know.
They're
I know
over there pep talking him right now in his box, saying that they don't want anything to happen to us, Awareness, or him, but it's getting out of hand. He said that we are getting out of hand and that we're scattering because he threatened us with the FBI. The feds.
He would say some shit like that too.
Yeah. I don't know who.
And she's in the box right now saying that there's no rules for awareness. There's no nothing. Well, first of all, I know with the 3 and the 4 that are in here, including myself, we don't go real life unless it is public access and it is true.
The only real life we go is FOIA. And I don't really typically pay $75 for a FOIA, but if I need to, I will. Hi, Jenny.
Exactly.
He's mad, Pillow, because he's being exposed. his criminal record is being exposed. I'm not surprised he can't find side work. Don't get on the internet and beg. If he doesn't get back on the internet, I won't make another video about
Well,
him.
he even openly admitted it tonight that he's a felon. So I mean, I'm not going to hold that.
Now this lady at T in the box is saying that we are lying and saying that we have lawyers and we have,
I do have a lawyer, but okay.
awareness teams have lawyers.
Can you? Oh, I can't start no more shit tonight. My poor husband has been waiting for me forever.
They're just trying to get him riled up. I mean, that's all it is.
It's kind of like those people who would fund the drug users to go buy more. That's kind of what that kind of person is giving off. He begs me to too.
And I want to make one thing clear.
Hello, can you stream it?
I can't because the thing is one, I don't want to give my hider name away, and two,
I don't blame you.
I refuse to give him any views. I'm not even watching.
Exactly.
I'm on the outside watching.
You don't have to go into his account. I've learned we watch from the outside so it doesn't give him the view.
Here's one thing, and I want to put out to everyone. I've seen this awareness T page, and they do what they do with their platform. I'm not going to sit here and tell them.
She now's trying to say that you denied her a box. That you denied people coming in the box when he was there.
What? Dude, I think that there's something mentally wrong with him, and I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be anything. I don't think the elevator goes all the way up.
Here's the thing. I didn't deny anybody a box. When you co-host, you can only allow 2 people in your box.
I know, Snuggle.
Correct.
And that's the thing. And I did not deny anybody in a box.
Wasn't it him that said, do not let anybody else up in the box after she went?
He did say that, yes.
Correct. So therefore, after stating because you were co-hosting with him, you respected his wishes. So therefore, everybody knew that you were not letting anybody up in the box. So whoever this person is, if you guys are awareness and you see her anywhere, get rid of her because she sounds like a flip-flopper to me.
There's a lot of those lately I've been noticing.
And I want to make mention too, real quick. Real quick, when it comes to awareness, there is no written book. Awareness does the best that they can to bring the actual awareness. Now, it may not be in the light of what people think is good, but at the same time, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to literally put out awareness, or are you trying to handle yourself? I'm doing good. Thank you, Fulton.
I'm just going to tell you this right now. That woman is a flip-flopper because she just said straight out of her own mouth that she doesn't know what kind of awareness doesn't offer help. And when they do offer help, she's just here making it awareness of him being a homeless person who needs help. So they're a flip-flopper.
No, that awareness T page. I think they just have that T page as like a T page. And they make T about awareness, and they're just trying to stir the pot right now. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, that if Analog is right, whoever that person is just trying to stir up controversy.
Yeah. Well, and here's the other question to that. If they're in a box over there, why aren't they trying to offer resources to him?
Most likely trying to cause drama.
Because she just said that not everybody is available to basically hinting around your resources. Not everybody can get handle of those resources. Bullshit. Because I'll tell you, I saw it with my own eyes. He got a woman
that I've never actually had to call
garbage.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're there. I know they work. I've used them. I'll be first to admit it. I use them. I'm not ashamed.
There's nothing wrong with that pillow. There's not a goddamn thing wrong with having to use resources. And I'm proud of you for having to do that because that's what they're there for. There's no shame in going to a food bank. There's no shame in getting Medicaid when you truly need it. There's no shame on being on disability.
Why the
fuck is he on disability?
There's no shame
because he's mentally insane.
Then he shouldn't have access to social media. Sorry.
Here's the other thing I wanted to know too. Isn't in Washington the lovely Mary Jane legal for recreational?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Okay, so answer me this question. Why is his pupils pinned like that all the time?
Because he's probably on gas station age.
Probably.
Literally walk into smoke shops and buy a thing called not kratom. It's called 7OH. It is a highly, highly altered version of kratom that gives the same effect that pain meds and all of that give. If there's
We have it all over here too, and
Yeah.
I tell people to
It's
stay away
opiates.
from it.
But it's legal opiates essentially. It's a horrible thing.
I'm not making any speculations on anything like that.
No, I agree because we don't know. But he also does drink quite a bit, and that's been known. But I'm just saying,
To me, that's all.
he makes dumb choices, and then he blames us for it, and I
Yeah.
really can't stand it.
And then he wants TikTok to bail him out for his bad decisions.
I can't wait for him to be my best friend. Talk away. You're just giving me more viewers.
The other thing I wanted to let All4one know, just 3 nights ago, he told people from now on, when you want to donate, don't mention any money, DM me.
You know who else says that? Jordan.
You know who else said that? Tim. You know who else says that?
Lisa.
You know who else says that?
Lisa, Jordan.
Tim and Angela.
Tim and Angela.
That's the way, yeah.
Jeff Gainey.
It'd be Harley.
Literally.
He only came up here to get exposure. Analog is right. He never had any intention of trying to work it out with y'all. He knew that All4one is who All4one is. He came up here so that he could be seen. Jeff Carl, good God.
Yeah, I mean, that's
he's
why
still around.
Yes, he's coming back around.
That's why he wanted us to go on his platform.
Right. He wanted the exposure to go into his live.
Yeah.
But I said, and fucking and I talked about it. We do this, we're doing it on neutral ground. It's the best way to handle it.
Definitely a red flag is when they say DM me or PayPal, friends and family.
Yeah,
I'm gonna drop, but I just wanted to tell you that there was that woman, just to let you know. So if you guys see her anywhere on any of your pages or when you're exposing somebody, I say block her.
Yeah,
get rid of her.
I just followed you. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Trying to stir the pot.
Let him talk because he's just digging his own grave. I mean, shit, is he going to start asking for money for a shovel?
Thank you, Pillow Princess, for coming up and letting us know, though.
No problem. No problem. I don't have a problem with that because I don't like flip-floppers.
I hope you have a great weekend. I really do.
No, I don't either. But thank you guys. Thanks for letting me up like always, Jeff.
Oh, you're welcome, dear. Stay safe.
Yeah,
you too.
Stay safe and have
I don't even call myself awareness anymore at this point. I'm commentary.
No, I'm still awareness.
No, I'm going to stay strong on awareness as well, too.
Well, I know. Of course I am. I'm not backing down. But shit, we're commentary and awareness at this point. It's Chief Slapaho. Hi.
I'm going to...
Hi, guys. I just wanted to let you know, Jeff, I just sent you 3 screenshots of everything going on over there. He's flying a kite right now of $80, needing $80 in his room or something like that.
Okay. Oh, my God.
Right.
Thank you very much, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Can we please let Analog up? You're going to love Analog All4one. I promise you, you're going to fall in love with him.
He thinks he's doing something. He thinks he's cooking, as the kids say these days.
He thinks he's cooking.
As the kids say.
Look, in this situation, you can only lead a horse to water. You can't make the horse drink the water.
Or the rum.
I've had people turn around and sit there and tell me, well, then you should turn around and drown the horse in the water. Well, I'm not going to do that.
That ain't the way he does.
Analog, I think you have to request my love.
Yes. Come on now. Where are you?
Come be All4one's new best friend.
I mean, believe it or not, we do try to help. Like we tried to warn, did everything we could to warn Ray to stay away from Doug. I mean, we tried to tell him.
And that's the thing in this situation, we can only warn people about giving their good hard-earned money to someone like that.
Yeah, I mean, but we're actually looking out for a beggar by telling them, hey, stay clear of this other beggar that you're uniting with. It's not going to go well for you, and it's not.
You know, the other thing is, too, is let's take a look at it this way. If he is so fixated on literally wanting to be concerned about the videos that are being done on him, then obviously something is causing him nervousness because of those videos. So then maybe you should think, wait a minute, I don't want to be in any more videos. I need to stop begging.
And then he'll sit there and say that he's not begging, but he'll say things like, I wish I had something to eat. I wish I had some shampoo and conditioner to take a shower. It would be nice.
Yeah, it's
That's the
Well,
same
he took
fucking
that expensive
thing.
stuff out of that hotel room that he was in. He turned around and even put it up on the screen and said, "Look at this! It's the expensive shampoo."
yeah, and then I mean, like earlier, he was
So
sitting there and he was like,
ridiculous.
earlier he was sitting there and he was like, "Oh, it's so cold out here. I wish I had somewhere warm to stay." And he was hinting around, and people were like, "Well, how many?" He's like, "There's only a hotel, a gas station, and I forgot
Oh, Trevor, that's a good way to put
what
that.
kind
I
of
literally
restaurant
had
it
to
was."
back off for a minute, Care Bear, because he was really starting to piss me off, and I had to walk away. Because he's got a head the size of a fucking brick.
And you know what? Janet just hit the nail on the head right there. He is too good for homeless shelters, is how I
Yeah,
look at
that's
It
the way
really
I
is.
think. I think it's that too. Personally, all for one. I
it.
personally think
I
that.
think his idea of being scared of him is a load of horse shit.
It really is.
Look, I'm not going to disagree to the fact that some
Yeah, it
homeless shelters
sucks. It
are
sucks.
bad.
It sucks. It ain't nowhere I would want to be, but if I had a choice to either go to a homeless shelter or pay $250 a night for a hotel room that I can't afford, I'm going to the homeless shelter.
Exactly.
Sometimes, as like even being a parent and stuff, there's things that you have to do that suck. It just sucks. But you got to make that choice to do right by your kids, or
You want to know some shit? You're right, fucking.
do
Do you
do
know?
right by your spouse. I mean,
So
you,
over
you make
Christmas. Oh, go
you
ahead,
got
sir.
to make the best out of a shitty situation and make best with the few resources you do have. Going through a whole month's worth of check in 36 hours is not just one bad choice, but you had to make many
It's
bad
my best
choices.
friend. Hi,
You
Annalise.
had to make many bad choices to spend
Exactly.
$967 in 36 hours. You made a lot of bad choices, especially as a homeless person. You have no bills or anything, but you go through $967 in 36 hours. I mean, come on, make it make sense.
No, you're correct. Do you know that over Christmas, so Mr. G, my husband, he's a mechanic. We all know over Christmas they don't make much money because Christmas nobody's getting their car fixed. Do you know that I ate dollar store shit? And well, not shit, but you know what I mean. I spent as little money on myself as possible so that I could buy that kid everything that he wanted. He has no idea when we struggle. He thinks we've got all the money in the world. But when you're a parent, you do what you have to do for your kids.
Well, I mean, as a parent, you do the best you can to not let your kids see that you're struggling.
Exactly. My kid doesn't ever know. He wants to go to McDonald's to get a Happy Meal. If I got $6 in my bank account, cool. We're going to a fucking Happy Meal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you make us, it's shitty, but I mean, there's been times that my kids have ate and I haven't,
Exactly.
and
I remember
they
growing
didn't.
up, my
They didn't
mom used to
know.
do that.
They didn't know that. Oh, well, Dad asked for a couple of my French fries, but he made sure I ate. That's why Dad ate 3 or 4 of my French fries.
Well, that's a very good
My
point
son has
because
never, ever, and I mean ever noticed when we struggled. Ever. Because we don't let him know. You're right, Bucket. There has been times where I haven't been able to eat. There are times when I've had to go to food banks and blessing boxes. There's nothing wrong with that because everybody needs help. But then you have people like this dude, Tim Nash, Lisa Richard, the cockroaches that roam around that make it difficult for people who truly need help to get it.
you notice too that when
Nara,
um
tell him go ahead. I would love to hear from Aaron. Tell him.
you know
He
you
doesn't even know
notice
where the
too,
hell I live. I'd love it. Tell him to come on.
did you
I'm
notice that
super
when
cool with the head of my police chief where I live. Let him
I'm
come.
sorry. Go ahead, Analog.
sorry, I thought you were done, Skittles.
No, I'm sorry. I'm
The
setting
one
up for
thing I
you.
noticed about him when he was speaking, his body language gives away a
Yep.
ton of information.
Yep.
Whenever he hears something that does not coincide with what he's expecting, he turns his head
Hi, beggar enablers.
and he basically does not abide by it. But when he hears certain terms that come out,
all of a sudden now the volume gets amped up and everything like that. His whole premise on coming up here had nothing to do with trying to plead his case and get acceptance and all of that. He was looking for someone to co-sign the fact that what he's doing is okay.
Right.
And no one was going to do that. And because of that, he took a very hostile tone. And the one thing that he said too that really, tuned my ears was that I was expecting the 400 from the lady, so on and so forth. So he goes ahead and makes plans, sets up things, and does everything that he wants to do without the money, just expecting it to be there. That is the whole premise of his entire existence.
Well, I mean,
and why
that's
he's
one
on
thing
here.
that All4one pointed that out. Like, you don't count your eggs before they hatch.
Right.
Well, Digital just said the same thing.
That was wild when he did that. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
If I
it's like
could
people.
address-
It's like the people that are expecting a tax return, and then they go out and they buy a car, and then let's say they get a bunch of money deducted from their tax return because they filed their taxes bad, the year before, and all of a sudden they find out they owed like 1,400, and then they turn around and they complain because they didn't get the money that they expected to get. I don't care. It doesn't matter. You don't spend it before you have it, and then complain, and that's his whole existence.
Lisa Marie in the comments, I'm sorry that you're on hard times and you have to do that, but I'm sure All4one has plenty of resources that he would help you get in your area if you would connect with him. I'm sure he'd be more than happy to help you out and make sure you have the food that you need.
He
Absolutely.
really is saying that I'm his ex.
Yes.
First of all, fucking
Lucky
ew.
you.
And second
What?
of all, he fucking wishes.
What?
Thank you. Oh God.
Another thing,
Ugh.
Skittles.
I
has
told you he's
never-
yours, no gives, no takes.
Skittles
Fuck
has
no.
never been
God,
in Maine.
ew. I gotta go
Skittles
take a
has
shower.
never ever been to Maine.
Well,
I'm definitely not going now. Jesus Christ.
You guys, you notice his criminal record that he keeps
Yeah,
talking
it's
about and
very
everything.
telling.
Yeah,
Well, it's
let
very
him-
telling because he has two different tenors in which
Let
he
him,
speaks to
darling.
people. When he was speaking to
Tell
Fuck
him
It
to
and
come
All
on.
for
I'm
One,
so excited.
he had a
Oh, I love
certain
that.
he had a certain timbre that he would speak in. He'd be very respectful. The moment a woman's voice came up, the defensive wall went right to the roof.
Did you see what he looked like when I got in the box?
Oh yeah, well that's the thing. Anytime a woman was
I
speaking
know.
to
Oh,
him,
God.
he was talking as if he was better than them. And that's
Yeah.
disgusting. Like, I can tell why he has that criminal record now.
I mean, he did call me a dirty Democrat after all. Let's be fucking for real. Let me quit. Nope, that's the wrong thing to say. Sorry. Let me quit.
No, I know. But the other thing too is that he also blamed TikTok for preventing him from obtaining employment in various instances. I'm sorry, but a recruiter is not going to go on TikTok and say, "Hey, where's Aaron's TikTok profile?" No, they're going to do a background check. Your criminal record that you willingly entered into through your actions is what prevents you from getting jobs, not people on TikTok.
Gee,
So to
we've
make
never
that
heard
excuse,
that one before, though.
yeah,
I mean,
to make that
we've-
excuse while simultaneously trying to disavow your criminal record and say, well, it's nobody else's business. Yes, it is their business because
Yeah.
you are a potential threat in the community. Therefore, your record is public for that reason. You don't get to hide your criminal record because you're ashamed of what you did. If anything, you should be bending over backwards to try and
Beggar
make yourself
enabler. He can
better.
stay fucking single too. That's disgusting.
Mr. Timothy Nash used that one all the time, too.
Yeah, he
that
did too. He said it was
TikTok
all our
cost him
fault that he would
jobs.
lose jobs.
Yeah,
TikTok made me lose. TikTok took my job.
what that
Oh
tells
God,
me
I
though,
remember that.
what that
I
tells
think
me
no
though
more
is
like you being sky high spinning signs
I
lost your
know.
job.
Tim and Angela's Tim. TikTok took my job. I mean,
Exactly,
No,
like
TikTok sent letters,
exactly. It's
remember?
public
It's-
record.
it's
TikTok sent letters.
insane. It is insane. They
Yeah.
all say and do the exact. That's like we read them like a freaking book because we've done read this book a million times. Like they're all the freaking same.
I mean, I could understand if it was like Stephanie from the Resilient Jenkins. Yeah, she's probably gonna have a hard time finding a job
Like,
because she's viral.
how Digital said, Dee Dee said, well, we've heard the same thing 30,000 times. It's
No,
'cause
Jenya,
it's
somebody
true,
told me.
man.
I didn't know.
They all literally have, like, it's like there's a script or some shit that they go by to be a TikTok beggar because they all say and do the exact same thing
Uh,
over and over and
Exactly. It's
over.
like they go back and they watch like Lisa Richards and Tim Nash and Face videos, and they get all this like information, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna be better than these people because I'm gonna do it differently." You're
you
not
guys
fucking
did.
different.
You guys didn't hear that Lisa Richard is teaching correspondence courses on the internet now. The
Oh
Lisa
my
Richard School of
god,
Scamming.
she's one that would have a hard time finding a job now.
You know
That
what?
one
I would
right
actually
there,
respect her if she did that because it would
I
be a
would too if she
hustle that
actually
she's
did
doing
something
for
to make
herself.
money.
Yeah, exactly. But
You know,
the thing with him that
hold on.
really kind of pissed me off too is the fact that he's not willing to take any of his actions or any of his past, his repercussions or anything into
Yep.
account and atone
Yep.
for them. He
It's all her
literally
Yep.
fault.
makes an excuse for everything. And if something else happens as a result of said actions, it's automatically the fault of that other person because he sees himself as infallible because he is quote unquote vulnerable. I'm sorry, but being vulnerable does not make you, acquiesce from basically
Nope.
getting any kind of accountability put on you. And that's what he was
No,
What
it
wanting with that
doesn't.
whole I want a
Literally,
week
he's
off.
telling
I
me to just
swear
call the
somebody
police in
needs
my
to get a
local
hold of
area.
Trey
I say, good, I'm
Parker
good friends with the police chief. Tell him to show up.
and get
We'll have a
South
beer.
Park
I mean, bam.
to make an episode about TikTok beggars.
Yeah, who in their right mind thinks it's okay to sit there and ask for a week off from accountability?
I know. And Dre was appalled by that.
It's
Dre would
disgusting.
be up here and be live if he could, but he got banana and all that stuff that just happened. But literally, what is a week off from us not covering him going to do? He already ruined it by coming up in All for One's box, is what he
Well,
does
I mean,
not
they
realize.
all do the same thing. Tim Nash used to say the
I
same shit.
remember that.
If TikTok would just leave me alone, I could get my life together.
No, you
I mean,
can't.
If
Tim and Angela's been saying the same thing for 2 years now,
Exactly,
haven't they?
Pat.
All for one.
if
If
LA County
TikTok would
sheriffs
just
would leave
leave
me
me alone,
alone, I can empty the cash register at
yeah.
AM PM.
I mean, if my sheriff's department and my city police department took the day off, I could rob banks. I
Exactly.
mean,
I
You
wish
never
you
get
think
a
my name
break
is
from
Monica.
accountability.
Cool. I love that. Sure, that's my name. Tell him, Janie, tell him that is exactly my name. He is correct.
yeah, Kevin.
But that
That's
that just
because
goes
they
to show the
all say the
childish
same
nature.
thing, Kevin.
But it just goes to show the childish nature of his mentality because the fact that he sits there and truly believes that he is owed and should be granted a week free of accountability because he is quote unquote vulnerable through his own actions, that is absolute
That's
buffoonery.
like me coming up
Hey,
here and
I
saying
got a
my
question to
job gives me
ask
90
Analog.
grand to pay
Yeah,
off
yeah.
my medical bills.
How long have you, or estimated long, have you really taken up a mantle for awareness?
Not that long, maybe a year.
Well, let me tell you something. Just everything you said tonight, I'm impressed.
I
I am
told you,
really
man. He
impressed
So
knows
Dre
how.
because,
just texted me and said, "Hey, Monica."
I told you. I told you, man. He knows how to put everything eloquently.
yeah, but you know what? Fuck it. You know what he did that, not saying that we didn't do it, but he watched and he observed.
All for one, go watch the
And
video I sent you.
okay. And I'm impressed by that because that in itself, and I'll be honest with you, I that's part of the things that I started letting slip.
Oh,
When it comes to observing and watching, yes.
oh
And
no,
I'll tell you what, man, I'm getting chills on my arms. You nailed that to a effing T.
you can ask my group that I hang out with. I was literally just talking to them earlier, and they said something. I was like, "Y'all didn't catch that?" And they're like, "No, we didn't catch that." And I said, "I listen to everything because the devil's always in the details, man. Like everything they say, everything they're going to do. If you pay attention, if you just sit back and listen to everything they say and really pay attention, it's all right there for you to
Mhm.
all the information. They give you all the ammunition, man. Like
If
we don't have to make stuff up.
if
I
you
just gained
Hey,
really if
110 followers. Jesus, all for one.
if you
yeah.
really want to get a good sense of how to read people, what I would suggest you do is look into interrogation tactics.
Ooh.
Because
No.
it's a scientific fact that every person has a subconscious tell every time they're
Yes.
lying,
Oh,
and
my
what
fucking
Yes.
name is
and that
Chandler.
is
My
often
friend
found in the
Chandler. Oh,
eyes.
yeah.
Because there's
Uh,
4 quadrants that you can look at in your eyes: up, left, up, right, down, right. And when a person is inventing something, they will never look straight forward when they're talking to you because they know they're inventing it. And by looking to the other direction, it gives them that subconscious comfort to know that, okay, I'm not engaging them with eye contact. So I have that little bit of comfort that makes me okay with trying to invent something
we're
right now.
talking about what
And no one,
interrogation
yeah,
tactics.
and no one is able to do that or to not do that unless they are trained or a textbook
The
psychopath.
only interrogation tactic that I think that we should be able to use is waterboarding.
Oh my god. Dude, I just posted on my story to tell everybody to go tell Aaron that Monica loves him. And apparently, fuck it, your name is Chandler. Just so you know.
Hey, if
Yeah.
fuck it is Chandler, can I be Joey?
You have to be Joey and Analog.
And then Analog could be Ross.
That's right, and Darla can be Phoebe. Look at us. Who is Dre though? Dre's the coffee maker.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the other thing I was going to say too is when you observe people and you watch their mannerisms, it's very easy to tell what they're thinking if you watch what direction they look and you also watch their facial muscles because your body cannot ever hide your emotions when you watch those because the body does not have a brain to be able to control that for some sort of nefarious purpose. The body is always going to give it away because it does not have the ability to say, "Oh, I don't want to give that up because I might be found out." The body either does it or it doesn't. And that is one of the key tactics that interrogators use in terms of like criminal
Awareness T,
suspects.
hi. You're in here. Hold on. Awareness T is in here, everybody.
Would
Yeah,
you? Would,
but you're over there amping him up though, right? Cool. Love that. Why are you here?
Don't come in here and flip flop.
Yeah, we don't like flip floppers.
would you? Would you? And here's the thing, and I take away with the resource aspect. Every time I offered an option and an opportunity for his
Awareness T would like a
resources.
box. I don't even
Okay.
know if I want to know what she has to say.
Okay.
Everybody's welcome in just
No, that's
like
true.
I'm sorry, but compassion is not going to one place and having one agenda and speaking it in that manner and then coming here and starting off with a completely
I
No,
different
mean,
you know what?
I
You're
camera.
would
right. Let me
like,
not be a bitch. Come on,
I would
awareness.
like to hear what they have to say.
Because
I
I've
really
been
All
would.
I'm going to
submitted
ask
videos.
is listen,
Let's all
respectfully,
be, yeah.
I'm
Let's all
muting.
be,
I'm
please,
not going to say anything. I'm muting.
let's all
please.
be respectful in Jeff's
There's,
live,
No,
please.
I owe you that, Jeff. You
I
are
got no
invincible.
problem
I
with
will
that.
mute.
Thank you. I appreciate you all. Awareness. Where are you at?
Can you request a box of awareness?
Can I add one thing real quick to that conversation that we were just talking about while we're waiting?
No,
Go ahead.
I don't know how I see you got to tap on the two people. But I'll mute after
Okay.
because I do have a question to ask when you're finished, but I will mute.
Hello.
Hello. So I
Hello.
did try to take a box when you had boxes. I have never been in a box until a few minutes ago, but I could not seem to figure out how to do it. I don't know if you only had two available. I don't know. But he sent me a DM. Some of the stuff he sent me was very concerning. Some of it I can tell you I don't think was grounded in reality. Something else that he told me that I'm not going to get into specifics of had me worry for his safety. And
Okay.
so I showed him some compassion. If you listen to everything I told him, I also told him that I definitely believed that there are people that give and that they can't afford to give and that they will go without medicine or food to give. And that is a valid concern. But if I'm going to be labeled an enabler because I showed another human being some compassion when they were obviously texting me disturbing things, then I will wear that label with pride. I
Um,
believe addicts deserve to have compassion. It is a disease. I believe there's very little understanding of the disease. People think they choose it. I believe that, yes, even Tim Nash, and I am a cancer survivor, I would show compassion to.
I'm going through cancer right now. Continue.
I'm very sorry for you. I'm a cancer survivor. So it is not enabling to me. If it is enabling to anyone else, call it what you will. I did not send him money. I will not mod for him. I simply wanted to make sure that he was okay. I asked him if he was able to get resources. Apparently, he's in some desolate place. I don't know his story. I don't care. I do know he was sent a message that had him freaking out because it said that awareness, because he thinks of it as all one thing, not that there's individual creators that do their own thing, had lawyers and PIs. And I explained to him that no one awareness creator, including All4one, can tell any other creator what to do. But for some reason, he does think that All4one has a lot of sway with like the entire awareness. I don't even know how many people do awareness. I mean, I'm sure there's people I've never even heard of that do it.
Can I ask you how long have you been on the awareness side of TikTok?
I'm not on the awareness side. I am on the side.
Switzerland side.
No, I talk about bullying. That's what I talk about. Awareness that I see that bullies.
I'm just asking how long have you been like aware of the beggar side or the scamming side of TikTok? Like,
I will say that probably the first day I got on TikTok, I saw this.
Okay, so I'm just asking how long ago might that have been?
I'm not going to answer that because people are trying.
I'm just going to say I've been on this side of TikTok for a very long time, and I've personally seen where a beggar, and I'll call them out for it because they deserve it. Tim and Angela asked a little old lady that's on Social Security that gets SSI, don't get a whole lot of money every month, if they could borrow $75 and they would pay her back the very next day for their room. And
I think I know about that, and that was appalling. That is appalling.
That's the kind of stuff that I'm trying to stop. That's why I do what I do.
And it needs to be stopped. It does. But by the same token, I think that Tim and Angela might be different than somebody that's having a mental health issue because they're lazy. I mean, they are.
That's true too. That is true. Somebody who's going through a mental health thing, that's very valid. But on the same hand, like there's getting help and needing help, and then there's taking advantage of people and doing it. Like we don't talk about people like a girl that came on here who had a flat tire for work, and she said if she didn't get the flat tire fixed, she would lose her job, and she was a single mother.
Okay, English. Let me go get my phone.
$65, and she came on. She got her $65. She told everybody how much she appreciated it, and she swore she would pay the people back, and they're like, no, take it as a gift. And nobody ever said anything to her or felt a need to post her because she really did need help. Yep. But she didn't keep coming back on the next day saying, I need another $65 and I need another $65 and live her life in crisis after crisis. She didn't take advantage of the situation. And that's what these people are doing. They're taking advantage of the situation.
Well, I want to add something to that. One of the issues
I gotta say something real quick. The messages that I am getting right now are absolutely horrendous. Maybe I'm the one that should start worrying about my safety.
Yeah, well, let me add something to that too.
Well, he told me, let me just answer this one real quick because she's talking about safety. I wanted to make sure that he wasn't going to hurt himself or hurt anybody else. He said that he has a friend that is a reporter, and that's the way that he was going to go. And I told him, do that. Do that.
Okay.
He's also mentally ill, okay? I'm not Monica. I don't know him. The first minute that I met him, he accused me and the friend that I stream with of attacking him when we live on the East Coast. He has done nothing but degrade and harass me since I even watched the live stream that he began with. And he's over there telling people that he's going to come find me and shit. I
Well,
got the screenshots.
here's the thing. When someone says something one time, I'm with you 100%. Looking out for their safety and all of that is a paramount of a concern. The issue here is that this is not something that's a one-time thing. This is a track record of nearly every single day, the same actions, the same story, the same tactics, the same manipulation language, the same gaslighting, and the same excuses constantly. When he answers a question, when you bring up something to him, he has an answer immediately. And if you know human condition and psychology, you have to think for a second before you're going to answer. That's called coaching. He has these answers built into his head because he is so used to making these excuses. I mean, I couldn't even answer some of the questions that like All4one and Bucket were asking of him, and I know myself very well. I would have to take a second to go, okay, so on and so forth. Before they finished the question, he immediately started with the answer, and that is a textbook version of projecting. He's basically putting out an answer that he thinks will remove him from the hot seat. And I can pretty much guarantee you that the threat that he's putting to you, that he feels that he
Yeah,
got,
see, look at the chat. He's going to find me. He is mentally ill. And
yes,
he's using suicide and shit. Sorry if I get this in trouble, but he's using it as a weapon, and that's not okay. He doesn't need to be on the app if he's mentally ill.
a person that's very much suicidal that you have to worry about is a person that's just going to do it. The people that talk
I'm
about it
sorry.
The
constantly are
people who
using
don't
it as a
talk about it are the
cudgel.
ones you
I'm
need to
sorry
worry
to
about.
bring
Man,
this
I
up
might get off
again,
this
Mike.
app. The messages I'm getting right now are insane, Analog. Fuck it. I gotta go. This is crazy.
All right, girl.
All
Because
right.
people are telling me that he's talking about he knows where I live and he's
Hit,
He
coming to
doesn't.
my house
He
and all
doesn't
this.
know.
First off, he doesn't know where I live. Second of all,
hit
it'd
me
be
up
the
later,
wrong one.
Skittles. Hit me
This
up
is my
later,
point.
girl.
He
This is
still
my
thinks he
exact
knows
point.
you.
He
He
doesn't know
still,
me.
The self harm thing really bothers me with him because I had my All4one.
Okay, Louisiana,
People
you
that
get the
know me,
messages I'm getting and then stop
the
interrupting.
people. Say what?
No, go
What
ahead,
you?
fuck it.
But I lost my brother and my nephew to self harm last year, and I'm not going to let somebody use that as a crutch to
Agreed.
cover up their bad behavior.
Agreed.
I think that he can be both have a mental health issue, possibly be thinking about doing self-harm, and still have other issues. I just wanted to make sure that he wasn't going to hurt himself or anybody else. And he was very confused when he messaged me this afternoon. I must have gotten 50 screenshots and they were all jumbled up and his thoughts were jumbled up. So again, maybe I am not a counselor. I am not a psychiatrist. I am not a social worker. I am not a psychologist. But if somebody tells me something like that, I'm going to err on the side of caution because I do not want any harm to happen to even somebody that I dislike. I just don't. So, again, if coddling him got him to think twice about doing something to either someone else or to himself,
He does it to everybody. He uses it as a manipulation tactic. He's done this like 6 different times to multiple people throughout the whole 3 weeks that we've covered him.
He does
I'll
not
be
take.
honest with you, real quick. I was in one of his lives where he literally put it on the chat verbally in reference to the fact about unaliving himself. Would you like to see me do that? Maybe I'll just do that. And basically laying the blame on the chat
Exactly.
because he wasn't getting the money.
Exactly.
Listen,
And that is wrong. And
awareness,
Very
there
I
is
wrong.
charge.
understand what you're doing, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude. I'm sorry. But when people text me, I've had 7 messages, and I can show each one of them of him saying he knows where I am, he knows where I live, he's on his way to my house. Would that not freak you out?
it absolutely would freak
And then
me
me
out.
telling people
And if
that
somebody knows where he's at,
He's in
somebody need,
Washington.
well, they need a wellness check on him because that is not normal to threaten another human being like that.
He's
Whether
done nothing but threaten and assault and do all that and degrade me the whole
And
time. And then he tells me that I need to stop making videos about him or else.
and
Okay.
no,
and
ma'am,
all
you need to listen, you need to first contact your own police and file your own report. And if somebody does know where he's at, he needs a mental health check. A well person doesn't say crap
No,
like
he
that,
does.
but
Somebody
you
needs to
need to
call
protect
911 and
yourself.
get him help, or he needs
and
to go 5150.
and I mean
But
also no one here slandering him. No
No.
one.
I didn't feel like you were slandering
no,
him.
All4one, I sat in All4one's live while All4one offered him resources. He does not want resources. He wants your money.
Well,
He does
he
not
had a
care.
he
He'll
he had a
use that
golden
poor
up.
girl Rizzy to death.
He
Everybody
had
uses Rizzy.
he
If
had a
I knew where he was, I'm telling you, I would absolutely call for somebody to do a wellness check. And I would absolutely say that somebody
I
online
love
says
you,
that they're
Lazy
being
Days. You're
threatened.
amazing.
you
Thank
know
you
what
so much.
he had a golden opportunity here to present his case in a manner that made sense, was rational, and outlined the true problems that he has. But in watching him and watching his discourse with people, he was merely here to look for someone to co-sign his actions rather than to then seek help or get out of the situation. He wasn't looking for help. He was looking for acceptance and co-signing of his actions.
I
And
don't
I'm
think he
sorry.
realizes he has a
And made
problem.
the assumption
He
that we
said,
had control over what anybody else on this app does,
Yeah.
and we don't. But I just have a quick question, awareness. T, you told him that you saw things in All for One's live that you didn't think is right. Can you detail out what that was?
and we're not bullies. Apparently, you said we were bullies as well.
No,
I'd like to hear about
no,
that.
I said I have seen on this app
No, no,
bullying.
no, no. You told him that you didn't get to hear all of the live
I did
that
not.
you wanted to, and that you heard things that you didn't think were right. And I'm asking you to detail what those things were.
I thought that there could have been more compassion towards him as a human and less
Wh-
asking about if he was going to report his income to the tax authority.
Well,
See
we
He
what
both
will
you,
get
but you
tried.
caught
have
if
to
he
hold
doesn't do
on.
that.
But
He
you
will
have
get
to.
caught. I
Wait,
pay a lot of
no, no,
taxes.
no. This is the
So
thing, though. But this is the thing you're failing to understand. Our issue isn't even with him, but
Nope.
the people who are giving him money do not understand how things work. They don't understand that when he gets his social security check and in 3 days he blows it.
No, it was a day and a half.
Okay, however long, he blows it and then comes right back to the app and says, now I need your money. It's not about not having compassion for him. It is about having compassion for the people he's taking advantage of.
okay,
But
but
Compassion
at
there
comes
what
are
with
two
point?
conditions.
At
sides.
what
There
point?
are
How many times are you going to go? At some point, people have their own free will. They know that they're a scammer. They
not
know that they're,
always,
look at Maggie. Look
not
at
always.
Maggie.
And
They
guess what
know
happened to
he is a
Maggie?
scammer. They
Maggie
know
has
Maggie
lost her
is a
money.
beggar and she
Hmm.
still raises bank every day.
I
And
love
guess
you,
who I don't
Digital.
talk about anymore?
Jesus, I love you.
Maggie. Because everybody knows what's going on with Maggie. I don't talk about Jordan Paul anymore. Why? Because everybody's not heard about Jordan Paul. I don't talk about Carrie Wells anymore. Why? Because if you don't know by now that she's a scammer, I don't know what to tell you. But
Exactly, preach.
every day, I get somebody who says, I'm glad I saw your live. I used to give them money. I didn't know
Absolutely.
what you said. Thank you for sending me a message. Thank you for helping me. I didn't see it. People are kind and they see somebody, they only hear the parts of the story the person wants them to hear, and then they
Hmm.
start sending money. And what you also fail to recognize is that once I send you $1, you can ask me for money repeatedly over and over behind the scenes.
Hmm.
And
And we
I
don't
don't
hear
Well,
agree
about
with the
that.
begging, scamming lifestyle. I don't. I think that somebody that uses it as their income, Tim and Angela, I think that's entirely
Aaron,
How
different.
do you think
Aaron.
they got there though? They got there by people being like, they're only going to do it for a little while.
And
They're
that's
only going to do it
That's
for
awareness's
a little
job.
amazing.
while.
And that's awareness's job to make people aware.
So
But
then
it's
why
not
can't we make
awareness's
them aware
job.
about him?
I'm not saying that you can't. I think that you should. But I don't think we have to bully to make people
We're
aware.
not
But
I
bullying.
when
don't
you
think we
say
have to make
that,
fun
when
of
you
the fact
say
that Tim
that,
and Angela are
when you say
obese.
that though, you gave everybody in his audience the feeling that he was bullied today, and he wasn't.
You're,
I
He
you're
said that there
wasn't.
were some things I didn't agree with.
What was it?
I just told you one. I don't think that that was the time to be drilling down on him about how he's going to report his
Well, when
begging.
else are we going to be able to ask the question?
Because he
you're
blocks you the minute you ask a
I got
question.
blocked
you're
immediately
you guys
afterwards.
you're misconstruing accountability with bullying. In
Correct.
this instance here,
I didn't
when
say that he was bullied. I said I saw some
You
things
just,
I didn't
oh my
like.
God.
okay, time out, time out, time out.
Yeah, it's time to get this under control and just be respectful, folks.
Okay. The whole purpose of what All4one did here was to try and give him the opportunity to plead his case.
Jeff, who is the one that told you that he needed to talk to you and
Hey,
ask you
hey,
to
listen,
and
listen,
ask you to
listen.
get with him?
Jeff, I love you. You are
You did.
amazing. I'm
Well,
leaving.
But now
This is
here's the
getting
question I
hostile.
wanted to ask.
Thank
He
you guys
needs
so
his help.
much.
He needs the
Fucking, I love you.
resources to get.
Or analog, I love
He's
you.
not.
Digital, you're amazing. I'm gone.
Oh, okay.
Bye.
All right.
Talk to you later, Skittles.
He I offered him resources. He doesn't want them. Okay. So now here's another question I wanted to ask. If he is having some severe issues with threats of any sort, why doesn't he take control of that?
having issue with what?
Threats.
Whether it be verbal threats or texts or messages, why isn't he reporting it to the police? Why isn't he taking, his protection in his own hands?
I told you some of the things that he sent didn't make any sense. He said that he has been threatened, death threats, and I said, show it to me, and he couldn't. And that's why I think that he is not grounded in reality.
Okay.
Well,
So
Like
here's my thing.
there's something not right there.
So here's the other thing too. Why didn't he take the resources when offered to him?
I don't know. I mean, why would anybody choose to sleep outside as opposed to taking a resource? That doesn't make sense either. I mean,
Right.
I can't make that make sense.
Nothing he does makes any sense, and he has a problem for every solution.
yes.
He did come up with excuses for everything that I was trying to offer him.
I mean,
I'm just being honest.
yeah, I mean, I gave him plenty of resources. I tried to help him with resources the other day when he was in Alaska, and
Well, this is the
he would rather come online and beg for $250 a night hotel room than stay at a shelter for absolutely free.
Now,
And he lied to you about that. He lied and said no, it was $50 a night for 5 days. He was lying.
okay, well, I told him originally I said put the receipt up, but then I was afraid he was going to get doxxed and get paranoid. So I said,
Right.
don't put the receipt up because, he's already paranoid. He
But
thinks
see,
that
that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
it's
see,
okay.
you allowed him to get out of it. See, when you tell me that you have a job that you're going to, I was an HR representative for many, many years. I know how it works. And so nobody moves 1,200 miles away unless
bingo.
they know for sure they have the job, which means you should have gotten an email. And what did he say? He said, sure, I'll put it up. It's in my email somewhere. And as soon as he went back to his live, he said, I'm not putting up anything. And you're like, well, be very careful because people will call. This is
They
the
will.
problem. Hold on. I know that, but this is the problem. This is the problem that the people who are giving him money are giving it to him on the strength that when he gets there, he's gonna have a job and a place to live without providing those people. I don't care if you don't provide it to me, but without providing those people without any proof whatsoever that he actually has a job and a place to live. And if you've been around long enough, you know we have seen people do that over and over and over again. I don't care if he doesn't like me. When I ask questions, I'm asking them to give the people who are giving him money a thing to think about. I've been giving him money all this time, and he hasn't provided me a single receipt.
Digital, that is a very good point. And that I wish I would have thought of that when I was in there. And that was, you don't have to post it for everybody, but you should if you're going to get money from somebody. You should
wanna
show them that letter.
But
And he
now he
should.
has you co-sign this thing, and he don't need to show it to anybody.
I
But that's
told
how
him
we
not to show it so he doesn't get doxxed.
right. But
Then,
he
then,
took what your words were, and now feels like you have co-signed that he don't got to show it to anybody.
I want to
and
add
then
something.
I mean, he's going to sit there and tell me that I lied about him. I'm like, okay, tell me what I lied about.
Right.
Oh, you said I was begging for money. I said, well, you were just begging for money. And he's like, and like, make it make sense. I
Can
didn't
I add
lie
something real
about
quick, guys?
anything I said about him
I
ever.
have no problem messaging him and telling him that digital came up with a great idea. And that is when people send you money before they send it, you need to show them that piece of paper so that they know there's a job. Now,
Hang
how would you suggest that he redact information so that he doesn't get doxxed if somebody turns around?
Oh, I'll teach him how to redact because I haven't doxed a single soul.
No, I'm saying what information would be acceptable to redact? I mean, if you've got an offer, aren't people going to want to know where it's from?
You can
Any-
redact all
okay.
of that.
Time out. Hang on.
Well, then you could create your own offer.
Yeah.
Hang on.
That's our point exactly.
One of the problems here is that when you watch the overall breadth of what he is doing, it becomes very obvious what's happening.
Yep.
What I said before, he is looking for people to co-sign his actions. He's not looking for solutions. He's not looking for reasons and options. He's looking for, I want you to accept what I'm doing because it's working for me and it's easy. Now, when you mentioned the thing about the job and doxing and all that, you have the best of intentions here, and I applaud you for that. But what you have to understand is that this is not something that just came about because we saw him do it and then all of a sudden everyone jumps on this train. This is a very common tactic that people along all different spectrums of con men, scammers, and all of that, they use the same tactic. They will dangle out just enough information to get you to bite. And what they're preying on is they're preying on the emotional response of a person.
Well, I mean,
You say you have compassion. I agree completely. Compassion is a great thing, but compassion also comes with conditions. If you don't meet those conditions, you are not therefore entitled to that compassion because you are not upholding the social contract which is required to receive that compassion. It's not unconditional.
I had compassion to a human telling me that they were going to harm themselves. And then I got scared that he was going to harm somebody else, which is why I reached out to All4one.
It's exactly like Digital said before. Like everyone in these boxes has seen the same story on this app 30,000 times at least. Like every single one of them have said the same story, done the same song and dance. And ever since that girl unalived herself a few weeks ago, every single beggar on this app has played that same card.
They've never even heard of Rizzy before. Don't have a clue who she is. Wouldn't have paid her 2 seconds of attention. But since that made international news,
they know everything
now all of them. And then do you hear what he said? He actually said that he knows for a fact that people who have unalived themselves because of awareness. And when I asked him to say be specific, who? Because I haven't heard of a single person. And if there's somebody that I covered that unalived themselves based on what I've ever said and done, I would feel horrible because my goal isn't to bully. And so but he of course let that go right by. And let me just say one other thing about mental health. I am very honest about the fact that I take medication, I have a therapist, and I have a psychiatrist. Okay.
Me too. How many
very
times
open about it. And
how
so
many
when
times
I
have you
watch
guys heard me say the same
right.
exact thing?
So when I watch somebody utilize something as devastating as unaliving themselves when they can't get what they want, when they're not comfortable based on a bad decision they made, I'm sorry, it incenses me because I felt that bad one time. And I didn't come to TikTok and say, you know what? I think that because my boyfriend broke up with me and I have this mental health issue, I'm just going to take it. I had to have a plan in place with family members so that all I had to say was nice and they knew what that meant, and then they called 911 for me. So
You,
when I watch somebody throw it around when things aren't going their way or when they're not getting the amount of money, don't you find it convenient that he managed to stop right next door to a hotel and a restaurant? Because how'd you end up there?
You can ask anybody who knows me. I am a huge mental health advocate on
As
this
am
app.
I.
I say it to everyone. You are not alone. You are wanted. You are needed. You are loved. And my inbox is open to anyone who ever hears my voice on here. I will talk to them about anything till they're blue in the face. I do not care. I am a huge proponent for mental health on this app
Yeah.
from day one because I have my mental health struggles. I am manic depressive. I do have PTSD, and nobody's on their own. And I tell everybody, I've had people tell me, well, I'm a nobody on this app. And I'm like, no, man, nobody's a nobody.
That's right.
Everybody's somebody to someone.
That's right.
Everyone
Everybody is
has
somebody to
loved
somebody.
ones.
And
And
no,
that's
I
why
didn't
I
have his
take,
whole history. And
I,
there's no way I
I,
could get his whole history because he only messaged me this afternoon.
I take,
Well,
I
So,
take like, I take it very, very seriously
as
on
do
this
I,
app.
because my best friend since I've been in the fourth grade committed suicide. Now, that's
well,
not the same as a family member, but she was family by choice for me. So and she had talked about it and she did get help and she did talk about it, but she had a strong family around her. And Digital was lucky that she had a strong family around her. I have no idea who he has. He
Okay, I feel
you
better
know,
now.
well,
I
Like,
can
there,
see where what you're all are saying. All I'm
Can
saying is
I
that
say something, awareness?
kindness doesn't cost us anything. We
But
don't
the
have to
truth
make
doesn't
fun.
either. The truth doesn't either.
And they don't
exactly.
have to be mutually exclusive. Why do they have
Nope.
to be one or the
Buckets in a
and I
other?
I
bucket
mean,
didn't
is an
say that they
amazing
had to be
friend.
one or the other. I'm saying you don't
I
get
love
to
you too,
say
Faith.
kindness is free and it costs nothing, but the truth does too. And I'm not going to allow kindness to overtake a lie. If it's a lie, if it's not true, if it's not
Hmm.
serving the people and their money, I'm not going to allow one to be more important than the other.
and
They're
I mean,
equal.
here's another thing I
I
always
know,
say
I'm waiting
too.
my
Like,
turn. It's
I'm
okay.
sorry, Skittles.
what
No, no,
these
no, you guys go
people,
ahead. It's okay.
these people on here, like they talk bad about us and say, we're doing these horrible things. And I ask the people that are in there that are enabling them, who's asking who for money? What am I asking you for? Like, why am I going through the trouble? I'm not asking you for anything. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to save you your money and your pain and you going through all this BS with these beggars and scammers. I'm not asking for a dime. I want nothing from you. Like, I'm doing it out of the kindness of my heart. I'm not getting paid for it. I'm taking time away from other things I could be doing to try to save these people money and the pain and the agony because I've seen a lady on this app give these beggars and scammers so much money that she literally faked her own unaliving. Am I
Hmm.
lying, Jeff?
no, I
No.
remember that so vividly. And that was
Tens
very disheartening.
I need.
tens of thousands of dollars they got that lady for.
Oh, I
So,
absolutely believe there are scammers.
Can
He
I
could be a
can I
scammer. I didn't have enough time to research it. I reached out to All4one and
Right,
said, this is what he's saying. Can you help me with this? Because I don't know how to handle that. But I would
right.
like to ask each of you, can you sit there and tell me that you have never seen somebody in awareness bullying somebody else?
Okay,
Hold
we're
on,
absolutely.
getting
wait, wait,
way
wait,
out,
wait,
No,
wait,
no,
wait. But
I
wait.
have very
Before we
way off
recently
answer
because
track.
I've
that,
been the one that's been
let
bullied.
Skittles say what she wanted to say
I'd like to talk
before
after
we
her, please.
move.
No, go
Before we
ahead,
move
analog,
on.
because I'm gonna
No, no,
wait till the
no. You've been waiting first.
no.
You
Yeah, go
first.
ahead. You've been waiting patiently,
You,
Skittles, please.
okay, so awareness T, can I ask you a serious
Sure.
question? How is it okay for him to sit over there and say everything that he has said about me And all of the people in the chat, put a 1 in the chat if you've messaged me asking me about my safety. How is it okay?
It is not okay.
No, hold on. It's
It's
considering
not.
bully when I do it.
No.
You want to know why I do this? Because I donated Tim Nash over $200 because he claimed that he had cancer, when in fact I'm the one that has non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I'm the one that has to go sit in that chair once a month for 3 hours and get poison pumped into my veins. Do I ask for money? No. Am I ever going to ask for money? No. I may joke with Dre telling him, hey, give me $20, but it's a joke. If
That's
you're
why
so
I
worried
told
about
you.
his mental health, ask him where he is, and you call the police for yourself. I don't need to do
He's
anything.
not going to tell me where
Well, then
he's
why do you expect us to do it?
Because I thought maybe one of you would know where he was.
He
Somebody
doesn't
told me
tell
I
us.
should call
He
the
blocks
police.
us immediately and then talks shit about us afterward.
If I knew where he was, I would call the police. And I think you should call the police.
I don't need to call any police because fuck it'll tell you I'm the wrong one. I fired 30 shots yesterday and I missed one. He'd be wrong to even think about coming to my house.
Well, I don't. He's on foot. You said you're on the opposite coast.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
Do you think he's
I'm not
gonna
worried
do?
about him.
Imitate the monks and get there? But you
I
should
mean, he
file a
might. The
report
monks
so
make it
that the
fucking far.
next
Those are
person
actually
that's threatened.
those are pretty
Time
actually.
out. Time out. Time out. Time out.
Yeah, let's
Everyone here needs to take a breath and understand that too much of this conversation is going towards our individual opinions and our individual feelings on how things are, and they're overlooking the overarching issue here. It's not about what we might feel, what we might do, what we think, and all that. It's about the generalization of the issue here. When we start inserting our own feelings and emotions, all we're going to do is turn that back into ourselves.
You're very
What we need to focus on here is the fact that him as a person, as a functional adult, as someone who makes the contract of getting on TikTok and doing his thing, he subscribes to the terms of service. Therefore, he is beholden to them. He is going against them by making up stories, manipulating people through carefully curated stories, carefully curated conversations.
And that's
He
why
has an
awareness exists for you
Time
to
out.
educate people on
I
that.
let you talk. I let you talk. Let
I'm
me finish.
agreeing with you. I'm
Okay.
agreeing with you. Awareness has a purpose. It just doesn't have to be. You don't have to comment about somebody's weight or what they look like.
You're taking
None
this
of
into
that.
a complete different realm. Let me finish here.
That's why Analog's my boy. That's
I
why
love
he's
Analog.
my
Analog and
he's my
fucking
buddy.
and
I
Digital
need to
Receiver. You
follow
guys are
him.
fucking angels.
Yeah, absolutely. Analog's a really good, solid dude.
The,
I'm glad he's my friend for
Keep
real.
going.
the
I
whole
want to
purpose
hear
here, everybody talks about awareness and this and that. And yes, you are right. There are awareness creators that literally do this just to get attention from themselves, and they should be meted out and dealt with separately to this issue. The whole point
I
here,
agree.
the whole point here is that when you start looking at this from the lens of your own self, you're going to insert yourself into this, and that is when the argument falls flat. What needs to be done here is you have to look at it from the overarching generalized perspective. He is manipulating. He is giving false reasons for why he needs money, which is by itself on the face theft by deception. He is coming up with excuses literally a half a second after the question is not even finished, which also denotes that he's curating his answers. He has an excuse for everything. He immediately gets hostile to any woman that is talking to him that is not co-signing him, and then he will turn around and be an absolute angel to someone like you who is being kind to him. And I'm telling you, I
Oh
agree with
no, he
you in
has
terms
not
of
been an angel to me. No, he has not been an angel to me. No.
okay,
He's
that's fine.
manipulating you.
That's fine. He's manipulating you. He told you what he knew would get you to respond in a compassionate way because you're exhibiting compassion, and I applaud you for that. But the point here is that you cannot put forth 100% compassion without conditions for said compassion, because without conditions you cannot exist. That's anarchism. So what I'm saying here is that this guy needs to take a long and hard look at himself and the reasons for what he is doing, and he needs to address those things before he even thinks about getting into the public square, which TikTok is the digital version of a public square in the past. There are standards, there are ethics, and there are rules of decorum in society that you have to follow. And when your whole game is to essentially game those rules and to manipulate people through language that you know is going to entice the response that you want, you've lost.
Oh
And
my
the point
God.
here is that this man is willingly and willfully deceiving people. He is making excuses for every action that he puts forth. He does not listen to anyone that is providing him a platform to air out his grievances and everything. He will then turn around and turn it right back on them. He deflects everything that he does back onto people. That is a textbook version of denial. And the issue here is that until he can rectify that within himself and understand that, hey, I am wrong, I am making a mistake, I need to fix this, this whole conversation goes nowhere. Because we
Correct.
can speak to hours
Blue
and
in the
hours till
face.
we're blue in the face, but until that changes, nothing will change. And the whole point here is that unless he is held accountable for the things that he is doing, he will continue to do this. He
Yeah, and
openly advocated for a week of not being held accountable by TikTok and people here so he can quote unquote get his shit together. I'm sorry, but no, that was just advocating for an amnesty week for him to do
yep,
whatever he wants.
that's
And
Correct.
he
exactly
came
what
up here on
I
a big
pointed that
platform
out.
to
I
be
pointed it out.
exposed.
Wait, though.
I
No, he was
pointed it out.
looking for additional people to join him, to
Well, yeah,
follow
that's what I
him.
mean. He came up
Right.
on one of the biggest platforms so that he could be seen.
Correct. And
And
all for
I
one
do
gets used
want to,
like
I
that
want to
all the
interject real
time.
quick with everyone. My real question that I have to step back and ask, if he felt that he was having problems or issues, why didn't he just get off the live and make the phone call himself?
Because he doesn't want to, because he doesn't actually have any
Because he,
issues.
yeah, he wanted that sympathy
He
from
wanted
other people.
notoriety and fame.
The next time someone comes to you and they're saying they're having a mental health crisis, 988 is free. It's available. It
Yep.
is there whether you have
Yep.
service or not.
And
Mhm.
it's nationwide
And
too.
what does that
And
do?
That's for
They
mental
get to
health.
speak
It's
to
a
someone
suicide
that's
hotline.
a mental
yep.
health professional.
I actually have a website on my page for mental health
All
aware,
right.
Yeah, but I'm
If
mental
they
saying,
health
leak
what
someone
can
else's
I
issues.
private
do?
messages,
Tell
don't
them to
assume
call
you're safe.
988.
And if they gossip
And
with
I
you
call
about others,
988,
they're
and what do I
gossiping
say?
about you.
No, no, no. You tell the
No.
person to call 988
Oh,
Yes, he
and
would have
they
to
this
call
pay.
them.
this person doesn't think they have a problem, as
Well,
do many people
All for
that
one, check your
actually have a
messages.
problem.
Okay.
right.
And
And see,
I can't.
When you
awareness.
get off, I
Can
just
I
sent
just
you a
answer
post
your
that our lovely
question real
awareness
quick?
team made.
I'm
Okay.
You
sorry, I couldn't hear
asked,
you.
oh, I'm sorry, you asked, have we not seen it? Of course we have. Of course we've seen it. But my focus, and I, when I see it and I don't like it, I've said something. I don't always do it on my public platform, but if I see something I don't like and it's someone that I value, I absolutely will say something. I am also, though, not so dense, and I'm talking about myself, that I don't recognize the good that is also being
I
done.
mean, there is some bullying that goes
Absolutely.
on this
Oh
app,
yeah.
Oh,
but
yeah,
In
I
some
can
of these
every
guarantee
awareness
you,
people are
category.
ruthless. They
I
really
can
are.
guarantee you one thing, that me or the people that I associate with, that would never happen. And Skittles and Analog have seen me be in a box when I thought something crossed the line, and I
Oh,
spoke out
absolutely. He's the first person that'll say
Immediately.
something when he sees something, and I
immediately.
love him.
I mean, that's all I'm. Look, y'all do awareness. You educate the people on the scams, on the frauds, on whatever. What I do is call out the bullying. That's all I do.
No, you're in the wrong
But it would
places. We don't
also
bully
be
people.
helpful
I
if
have.
you
I will
also
stop if I see
called out the
something.
scammers as well, because one of the reasons why he went to you is because he thought you had the pulse on all of awareness, that you could create some sort of a change, because he wants us to go away. You have
Mhm.
created in yourself the person that people who are scammers think they can come to check us.
But I mean, holding somebody accountable for their shitty
Well, if you
actions
bully a scammer, I am
isn't
going to
bullying.
check you. I don't
Well, I
care
mean,
who the person is. No
absolutely.
one deserves to be bullied. Tim
By
Nash
all
doesn't
means,
deserve to be bullied. Tim and
if you
Angela don't deserve to be called obese. They don't deserve to have their job called. They
They
just
don't.
don't.
But when you
if you
say,
see
oh,
something like that, by all means, call it out. By
right,
He
all means.
contacted me because he thought that I was the Lord of awareness and that I could get all of awareness to agree to come to a truce. And I had to explain to him, no, that is not. No one can do that.
No.
Which is why I stated in the live earlier, I can't control, and nobody else can control what videos that are being put out.
exactly.
No, but I mean, I do have friends in awareness, and I mean, if if he was, yeah, that I could go to, and if I seen where he was acting right, like me and my group that I hang out with every day, if he wasn't asking people or dry begging on this app, we have no reason to cover you. We have no reason to bother you at
Right.
all. If he
Right.
just came on and did a battle, he wouldn't even know who we were.
Have
Right.
fun.
You
We
made a
don't
very
pick
good
on
point.
people.
You made a very good point. And if I'm not sent screenshots of people being bullied by awareness, I won't have to exist, which is what I would really like.
I
That's
would
But
just
all I want.
appreciate if you would also at the same time, and again, this is your platform, you can do exactly what you want.
Good night,
But
guys. You all have been amazing. I
it
love you. I
would
really
be
got to go to bed.
awesome is if you could
Night.
also make it
Talk to you
clear
later
that the
tonight.
tonight,
people who get covered are scammers, beggars, liars, and manipulators, and that there are people that the community can go
No,
to
not
get
everyone that
facts.
no, not everyone that I cover is a scammer, liar, or a
I
beggar.
didn't say that they all were. I'm not suggesting that. I'm just saying that I'm asking for balance. That's it. And then one final thing. First of all, analog, I am so glad that I heard you. You have turned on my intellectual brain because sometimes we get so far down in the weeds of it that we forget the greater purpose, the greater good. When you
Hmm.
spend so much time analyzing this behavior, doing research, looking it up, trying to always stand on the side of right, even though we are all imperfect human beings. We are all gonna make mistakes. And for me, it's about being able to stand up and apologize and say, yep, I'm not gonna get it right all the time. I might say the wrong thing. I might go too far. I might make mistakes, but I'm willing to hold myself accountable and say, you know what? I didn't get it right. And I apologize. And I just apologized to the entire trans community because of some of the things that I said about Bella, even though she took me there. It still wasn't right. So I apologize. As
I agree.
as long as we can hold ourselves accountable and recognize, and then again, if I'm your friend, then I can tell you, you know what? I didn't like that. I didn't think that was right. Maybe you want to think about doing it differently, but we are here for the greater good. And if you don't know all of the circumstances, it is often hard to sit in judgment, because the other thing he said was that when he got where he was going, he had a friend that's in the media that's supposed to be applying heat on us. We don't do things that are illegal. I shouldn't say we. The
Would
people I associate with don't do things that are illegal. Go ahead. The one thing about the media, though, is that they're going to look at both sides. So please tell him to come talk to me. And then I'm going to show him the other side and let him do his reporting.
That's
But
why
that's
I
a
told him
threat.
to contact him. Obviously, he is not making any sense. He's going to, if he talks to a reporter, you don't think that I don't know that he's not going to make any sense?
But he's
That's why
making
I said,
sense to his audience.
that's
He's
why
not
I
making.
said, go
He's
ahead
making
and
sense to
call him.
his audience.
He's
His
not. There were
audience
lots of
feels
people in
like,
there that were writing, she's just trying to help you. She just wants you to get help. There were people in there that apparently know him that were saying she just wants you to get help.
No,
She wants you to get help.
I think you're
I
missing the
just want
bigger
to say
picture here.
I'm so happy that Analog is part of my group and some of my friends, and I'm just happy and proud to be a part of the group that I'm a part of now. Like
You
I
be
really am.
quiet, fucking. He's my new BFF.
Hey, you
No,
are not
Puppy,
taking
he's
him.
not just your friend now. You done let him
Y'all ain't taking my friend from me.
No.
out. Well, you gonna have
Well,
to fight for him.
there's something
But
I wanted to say
I'm
real
glad
quick.
that he got to meet the broader community and you guys got to know Analog because he is a really good dude, and I'm just happy and proud to be in the group that I am. Not with just him, but all of us, because we all, sometimes you get in an echo chamber and
Hmm.
everybody's on the same side, and we got a lot of different opinions in our group, and we all listen to what everybody else has to say. And I'm glad that Jeff's my friend, and I'm glad Digital's my friend, and we all work together and come together as a community. And no, we don't always get it right, and we always, we do make mistakes. And I'm glad that I can go to Digital or I could go to Jeff or any of them, and if I'm out of line, they'll put me in my place. I mean, yeah, little man. I mean, all you guys in the comments. Like
Well,
it takes the whole group, and I'm just glad. Like tonight, you know, we were able to sit down and have this conversation as adults without talking or arguing or fighting over each other, and actually get an understanding where everybody else is at.
And
Well, these are
awareness,
the
I
kind of lives I
appreciate you
like.
being up here too and allowing us to have this conversation, because you could have went right back to your corner and kept doing what you were doing. So I 100% respect that.
there's a quote.
100%.
Well,
There's
thank
a
you.
there's a
All
quote that
I'm
I pretty
asking
much.
is that the awareness community be more aware of how they treat even the scammer and the beggar and each other, and that they try. Digital, I know you hold yourself accountable. I know that much about you, and I don't.
I do too.
Yes, you do, and I think that the vast majority do, but there are some that don't, and they allow the comments to go down a way that is just not productive, and it's cruel. And I
Do you
think
Yeah,
that
and
there.
do you know how much more you would have been accepted in the fold had you started that way?
Yeah,
but
lead off with that next time.
but you
Right.
gotta
Mhm.
Well,
also
it's only
you
the second time I've been in a box. I've
you got to
never.
also know that on them people that you're speaking of, the ones that allow them kind of comments and them kind of things to go on in their lives. If you notice, you'll never see none of us in those boxes, and you'll never see us down in their comments, because we get drowned out when we try to say something about it.
I,
So we try to avoid those people. Like I said, it's not me or anyone I associate with that does that kind of behavior on this app.
And
there,
there's only one person in control, and that's the host.
there's a quote I want to give you guys that I live by. It's from Cicero, who was a ancient Roman historian, very very famous man. And the quote basically goes, "Emotion is the enemy of good oratory." And what that means is that when you let emotion enter into anything that you are trying to explain, you have already cut yourself short, because emotion is a purely reactionary type of thing, whereas something that's cogent, something that makes sense, something that's going to get to the point lacks emotion, and it only includes facts, details, and premise. So when you're going through all these things, all these discussions, one of the things that I always notice in all these discussions is that people get very heated, they get very emotional, they get wrapped up in things, people start talking over each other, and we essentially get nowhere. And the same thing applies to how you view these people too. Because just as you're saying, you want people to not bully, you want to bring awareness to that, you also have to look at the caveat on the flip side too. You also need to be aware of the fact that you could easily be manipulated by these people that you're talking about that are quote unquote being bullied. And you have to understand that that is a broad possibility. So you need to take the emotion out of all of it and just deal from the straight facts and from the straight situation on a
No,
generalized
I'll,
perspective.
I,
Can I
I will
argue
say
with you, Analog, though? as women, we were created with our emotional, like men are logical, women are emotional. And
Now,
it serves us. It serves the greater community that we have that emotion intact. It's
It
one of
has
the
its
reasons why
place.
they say you need a mother and a father.
It has
So
its place. Yeah.
sometimes we can't always just see it that way,
no,
but I think that should be the basis of our argument.
but no,
It definitely has its place.
I do see where awareness is coming from because I have been in chats before where people want to harp on Tim and Angela's weight, and they will make some nasty, very vitriol comments about their weight and call Angela some pretty terrible names. And I do see it. I've seen it myself. I think we all have, but I personally don't stand for that. And I would tell them, hey, it's not about their weight. We're not commenting on their weight. I comment on their actions and the way they treat people and the way they take advantage of people.
And
Well,
that's what
They're,
should be concentrated on. Because if there's not enough ammo for you to talk about that without having to go to somebody's looks or the fact that they have a mental health issue or whatever else, then there's not enough there for it to be talked about. I mean, you can discuss all of that without talking about obesity, wrinkles, mental health issues that, calling people crazy or whatever. And I'm not saying any of y'all have done that, but there are lots of examples on the page where people have been bullied.
now
That's the thing.
Absolutely.
I
But
will say,
sometimes those things are relevant to the argument. And I don't mean from a bullying perspective. I mean, I did a piece about her cellulitis because there were people saying, well, it's because she's fat. It's because she's lazy. And I made sure to make it explicitly clear. You could be thin. You could work out. You could do any number of things. It's about the bacteria getting below
well,
your
I
skin
mean
level. However,
Absolutely.
right,
that's
but
that's
go
like
ahead. I'm
me.
sorry.
I have HS, which makes me prone to skin infections.
Right.
I mean, and it's a biologic thing. I mean, has nothing to do with showering or bathing or cleanliness. I just get skin infections. I mean,
Are
But when
y'all
I talk
reading some of
about
these
taking
comments?
her leg,
I am. I'm
when
about ready to turn them off.
when I look at Cake and I discuss her leg, I'm not discussing it from a place of I want to tease her about it. When I show the picture of it, it's because people aren't aware of exactly she's lying about her condition.
But
Now,
that's
mhm.
different
somebody
to
just
respectfully point out the truth.
I
It-
know, but if somebody came in my live and that's the only piece they saw, they could run around and say, I'm bullying. But I wasn't.
well,
I
if
don't know.
some
It
if
was right
something
in
I've
the
listened to
context.
you a few times and I don't hear you bully. I hear you inform.
I will say that
So
I
now,
was
not
little.
everybody up there I'm familiar with, but I will
I
say
will
that I do
say
believe that you inform, and I don't think that I've heard. I mean,
I
there's no
will
example on the page of you bullying, so obviously,
I will say that I was a little taken back when Tim Nash said he was 41. It's hard to believe that he's 6 years younger than me when he looks like he's in about his late 50s. I
well,
mean,
I'm going to tell y'all
and
something. There's very
I
few
don't think
people
that
that
was
know this.
bullying.
My brother was brilliant. He was an accomplished artist, a musician. He'd signed a record deal, and he knew about computers before people knew about computers. He was a heroin addict, and he died at 40. I was the one to give him CPR. I was the one that spent 8 nights in a hospital room with him so that he wouldn't die alone and so my parents could go home.
My
And I was the
condolences.
one with him when they removed life support.
I'm sorry.
So
I'm
My
sorry to
maybe
hear.
I
condolences to
have a
you.
blind spot when it comes to addicts. But
I'm
yes,
sorry.
even
I'm sorry for your
thank you.
loss. Like I
Yep,
really
me
am.
I
too.
didn't think I was going to say this, but my point is that yes, even Tim Nash, because he is a human, he has a disease. We know it's a disease. It's a hard to understand disease. Believe me, I know, because you just want to say, why
I
can't you
mean,
stop?
we've all said the same thing about Tim Nash. I've heard Jeff say it before. I've heard Digital say it before. At the end of the day, he is human. He is
Yes.
someone's he is someone's son. He is someone's brother. He's someone's cousin. He's someone's uncle, but he
So
lies
are the
about
people
being a
giving him
father.
money?
He's not a father. He doesn't have any children. He lied about
He does
that.
not.
But
And
addicts lie. It's what they
and
do.
he
Right, but
lied
that's not
saying,
fair
but
to the people giving him
No,
money.
it's
I
not.
mean,
It's not.
especially when he's lying about having children that unalived when he hasn't had any children to begin with at all.
I
I
mean,
mean,
I'm not saying he's a good person. I'm
it's
not.
not
But he is a life
what
worth
he
saving.
He
it's
is.
not what he lies about. It's not the lies. It's the things he lies about.
I mean, frankly, I'm shocked that anybody gives him any money because there's so many people that report on him and that tell what he does that it's just mind-boggling to me that anybody gives him money. The same with
Well, I mean,
Maggie, the same with
honestly,
Tim and Angela.
Hey,
when he's going through his withdrawals, if you just happened in there and you didn't know about it, I mean, he does look like he's sickly, and he does look like he could possibly have cancer, and that's what he does. He thrives off the new people that come. That's what they all thrive on. Tim and Angela, they
It's a
thrive on
rotating door.
hey,
getting new one on coming in. Just snapping
Alexander.
upon him
I
off the FYP.
And I don't think, people think I'm anti-awareness. I'm absolutely not. I'm just anti-bully.
hey,
Right,
awareness.
but you know what else though? Like I said a few minutes ago, they are latching on to you calling out people in the anti-scam community and saying, see, look at her. She's telling the truth about them. And then what they do is they extrapolate that to everybody. When Tim
Yeah.
and Angela talk about awareness, they don't say a name specifically. They may say, oh, well, look at what Fallon did, but then they'll say them. And then the next thing I know, they've said my name. And the audience doesn't get the differentiation between what Fallon might have said and what Digital might have said. They lump us all together.
Mm-hmm.
And so while you're trying to clean up our streets, they are utilizing your videos, your comments, all of it to say, see, they are all bad
Hey,
because
awareness.
you pointed out a few people.
Awareness.
Well, I can't stop that. I can't control what other people lump together. I
Hey,
mean, I just can't. I mean, just like you can only control your page, I can only control my page. And
hey,
if awareness is more aware and doesn't bully people, there will be nothing to call out, and that will make me very happy.
I
That's all I've
definitely.
ever wanted.
I need to add something here. You guys have been very kind to me, and I think that's great. I'm a recovering addict. I was an opioid addict for quite a number of years. Mine was due to injuries that I received that were pretty traumatic, and I got put on opioid medication. And just by nature, I got addicted to it because that's exactly what happened. And then I started to spiral. But the one thing that kept me from going down the hole and going as far as people like Tim Nash or Lisa Richard and all that was the fact that I wasn't coddled. I was told directly the truth by the people that cared about me. They didn't sugarcoat it. They didn't come to me and say, oh, it's okay. You're being bullied. No, they told me what I needed to hear, which was essentially shut the fuck up and handle it. And excuse my language, but I
Well,
had to
you and
say
I
that.
are going to have to differ because I don't think that a human being has to earn compassion. I think by the fact that they're living and breathing in a creation of God, they deserve compassion. And I will never take an intellectual approach to it. I'm not going to take an intellectual approach to thinking that somebody has to earn my compassion. The
But
Well,
fact
you
that
just
God
gotta check
created them
people.
entitles them to my compassion.
you're
But
going to
You
be
can
even
taken
God
withhold your
holds
advantage of,
people
hon.
compassion.
accountable.
You'll
That's
be
God
taken
you.
holds
advantage of,
people
hon.
accountable.
They can be held accountable while still being compassionate.
Well, you
The
can
two do
also
not
have
have to be mutually
conditions.
exclusive.
You
Exclusive.
No, I'm not saying they're mutually exclusive. You're completely misunderstanding me. You didn't even let me finish. What I'm saying here is compassion has a place, but so does truth and so does accountability. This is my whole point. You're
Right.
talking about mutually exclusive. Nothing I am saying exists mutually exclusive. They exist all in the same sphere of the same argument. You're looking at it from a very myopic one or the other binary point of view.
No, I just
What
said
I'm,
they're not mutually exclusive. The truth can still be compassionate,
the truth is not always compassionate, though, is my point.
but it's the truth. But you can
Right.
deliver it in a compassionate way.
You don't, but not all, it doesn't always have to be that way.
Well, I think it does. You think it doesn't. So, I mean, that's just a difference in philosophies of life. I mean, I'm going to always err on the side of compassion. That's just who I am as a person. I'm not
Which is
going to change that.
that's
Do I
totally
think
fine.
that so, I mean, you have a more intellectual approach or, a different way that you want to handle your life. That's how you handle it. But if I'm going to deal with somebody that I know is an addict, depressed, mental health issue, whatever they've got going on, I'm going to lead with compassion. You
But
lead with
who,
whatever you
But
want to
you're
lead
holding
with.
other
who
people accountable for not seeing it the way you do.
you're holding them to your standard.
I'm
Right.
posting what they do.
You're holding them to your standard. You are
I'm
saying I'm
posting
this
what
way,
they do.
therefore
It's
this.
their own words. It's their own clips. It's their own
That's what we do
screenshots.
about the scammers.
Well, and
So
and
I have a
cover
question
the
though, real quick.
scammers. I cover
I
them.
have a question. The day I went into Aaron's live and I offered him resources and I even made that freaking call all the way up there.
That was I didn't see that live, but obviously that shows a lot of compassion.
Right. And then he didn't take that compassion. He used it to his advantage
Yes.
and basically stated that he wanted the hotel room. He turned around and didn't want to take that. Did you know that most shelters also have a mental health supervisor or
Hmm.
somebody in the professionalism of mental health that could sit down and talk to you,
Hmm.
work with you, get you situated? But he chose his path,
He
and
did.
I can't lead that to him. And where it stands now, I'm sorry, I'm going to straight out call since
You can
you've been in his box in his live, he literally got his money for the hotel room. He
Hmm.
literally got money for his food.
Yep.
He literally got money for his cigarettes. And he even said in my live that he was going to quit.
Let me ask you this. Before today, with me never knowing this human existed, did he get his money? Did he get his
Yeah.
cigarettes?
That
Did he
doesn't
get
Yep.
to
matter.
eat? So
He
to
might
Yep.
pin
not
that
have
on
today
me,
though.
frankly, is
No,
bullshit.
I'm not pinning it
Yeah, you
on
are.
you.
Yeah, you are. You're trying to say that because I went in his box, he since that propped him up and he got this and he got that. He
Well,
was
That's
getting
not
He
what
them
he's
wasn't
saying.
getting it
before.
you.
before
That is
you
not
were
what
in
he's
the
saying at
box.
all.
Used you is what I'm trying to say.
Then okay,
That's
he
not what he said
used
at
me.
all.
Maybe I didn't handle it right. I'm still going to, if someone tells me that they're going to unalive themselves, I'm still going to do whatever I can
Okay,
to
so
calm them
then why
down.
doesn't he reach out to his mods and say, hey, I need you to turn around and call somebody for me?
I don't
Why didn't he
know.
turn around and drop the phone and say, I'm getting off alive, I got to call this?
Did you ever stop and think that a mentally unwell person doesn't think straight?
I'm mentally ill. What do you mean? I don't think about what they would do.
He's
Not
mentally
all
sound enough to
mentally ill people
manipulate
have the
you.
same mental illness. I mean, schizophrenics don't think like everybody else. I mean, bipolar people don't think like everybody else. So, I
And
mean,
every schizophrenic isn't begging for money on TikTok.
no, they're not. They're not.
You know
I'm
the
not
So
saying that it's
it's
an
not a
excuse for him.
blanket. It's not a blanket. Oh, you have mental illness, and so therefore you don't owe the larger community the same level of responsibility. It's
right.
not an excuse.
He
There are
does.
addicts who say, "I've never stolen. I've done other things." So it's not. There's not this blanket catch all that says, well, because you're homeless, because you may have mental health issues, because of this, you get a pass.
He
That's
doesn't
what
get
they
a
want.
pass. I'm telling you, I think you'd have your place. You cover awareness. You point out the scammers. You point out the beggars. You point out the con artists. But I also think that there is bullying that goes on. I know there's bullying going on because it's flooded with DMs every day about the bullying that they've had. And they provide the proof because if they don't provide the proof, it doesn't go up. So
Okay, well, you do what you do. It is absolutely your platform, and you are at will to post anything you would like.
I, I mean, I hope one day it never has to exist. I hope that the bullying stops. And I hope to God that somebody doesn't get bullied to the point that they do something to themselves or to somebody else.
I
Well,
think the
That
whole
will not
point.
be
That's
on.
a big thing to lay it
I
awareness feet.
I
I'm
think
not
the
laying it
main
at awareness's feet. I'm saying that that has happened on this app.
From
And if you don't
awareness?
bully, you don't have to worry
From
about being the
awareness?
cause of that.
From awareness?
No, in general, people have been bullied.
But
So
you
if
saw,
you
you heard
don't
him when he
bully,
said that, right?
I
You
did
heard
not
him when he said, you heard him when he said that, right?
said
That
what?
he knows for a fact that people have unalived themselves because of awareness.
he
No,
doesn't know
I
that.
don't know that he said that. I mean, if you
He
tell me he
did.
said
You
that,
Yeah,
I
said
he
believe
that
did
you.
when
say it.
you were in the box when he said it.
Well,
Yep.
I was also very nervous when I was in the box, sweating like a pig because I have never been in the box before. So it was the first time. So if he said that and I didn't hear it or I skipped over it, then that was on me and that was wrong.
What
I'm not aware of anyone killing themselves from awareness. But
I'm
I'm saying with some of the bullying that's going on and some of the people that I speak to on the backside, there are people who have literally gotten off this app because they've been bullied and they have thought about unaliving themselves.
I just
He
have one
blamed
final thing to
me.
say. I hope that none of the people who have sent their life savings, their last, when they really didn't have it because they thought they were saving somebody's life and they realized they've been lied to and manipulated. I
Mhm.
hope nobody on that side takes their life either.
Right. I don't want anybody to take their life. It doesn't have to be an either or. Everybody should be treated with kindness as much as you can tell the truth in a kind way.
Do
I
you
mean,
think that they are treating the people that they lie and manipulate in a kind way?
No.
No.
no, but does that mean that that gives you an excuse to be mean to them?
No,
No.
you're okay. Time out. Time out.
Look,
I
I'm going to bed. Y'all can argue this all night long. You
We're
see it
not
one way. I
arguing.
appreciate what you do. I think it's necessary. I think that, I don't want some person to get scammed out of their life savings. I don't want an elderly man or an elderly woman to not be able to afford their medicine or their food. I mean, I think it's ridiculous that anybody gives money to anybody on this app.
So
But,
I do have one quick question, the final question before you drop.
okay.
How do you, Awareness T, feel that awareness should bring awareness about individuals?
Honestly, I will say, and think I've listened to digital, not for the whole 3 hours. I don't have that attention span, but I have gone in and out. I do think that she, Mexican homie, and I have seen one or two of yours. I do think sometimes you have a sense of humor that's a little strange, all for one. But I mean, I think that, you know,
I appreciate your sense of humor, Jeff.
I mean, I think sometimes it crosses over, it gets close to the line, but that's my interpretation of things. I think factually, I think, when you present this person has done this, they've been doing it for this long. They don't necessarily use the money you send them for what they say they're going to send it for. I mean, facts. I would like the awareness community to have a roundtable discussion where you people all talk about doxing. What is doxing? What do you each think is okay to put out there? If you go to Facebook and you find something, is that okay to post? If you only post somebody's the outside of where they're living, but not their address, is that okay to post? I mean, I think that's a good discussion to be had
I did
amongst the
that
people in
already.
awareness.
Well, I did an entire presentation on doxing.
The only time I think it's okay to dock somebody is if it has anything to do with children or
Animals and the elderly.
animals and
And
the elderly.
jobs.
Okay, what if you knew that somebody was doing something that was a crime?
I've reported somebody who did a
Absolutely,
crime.
See,
report
that's what I'm saying, but I
report
don't think
straight to our
everybody
line.
agrees. People say I don't go real life. Well, does that include calling the mayor of somebody's town and saying that this person is doing this and this person is doing that?
If they're
That they're
committing a
on
crime,
if they're on TikTok begging, should the mayor be told that that's what's happening?
I wouldn't
I don't think
personally call
so.
the
it,
mayor.
But
I
see,
No.
wouldn't.
but another person might think so. That's why I think it would
But
be
I
good
mean,
to do
that's the
something
thing,
like
though. I
this with
mean,
all of y'all to discuss it.
we're not the police. I mean, we're not.
Right.
exactly.
We can't police what anybody else does on their page. We can only hold ourselves to the standards we believe in.
There you
Right,
go.
but
and
I
our
think
feet
that it
to the
would benefit
fire. And
everybody to just hear what the other person thought, because you might
we
change
can,
somebody's
well, I
mind.
mean, everybody knows exactly where everybody else in the community stands, and we can't force our views on other people. Like everybody on this app, like I tell people all the time, I go in a lot of different boxes, and I can't be held responsible for what other people do. I can only control myself. In these boxes, I'm the only person that can control me. I'm the only one. I can't control what Jeff does. I can't control what analog does. I can't control what digital does. I can only be responsible for myself. And I feel that way about everybody else on this app.
Correct.
I know what I know what I would do, and everybody who knows me will tell you exactly how I would treat any situation because I don't hide mine. I'm myself all the time. I'm
Well,
the same every
I
time
just
you
thought
see
that
me in
that
a
was a
box.
good topic, because I do
I
think
mean,
that everybody has their own ideas, and that
it
if you
would be
would
nice
discuss them in an
if we
open
could all
forum, you might have more of a consensus, or you
if we
could
could
change somebody's
all
mind.
if we could all agree on one consensus idea and set of rules for everybody, that would be amazing. But
Oh,
we can't.
I don't think that'll ever happen. But if you
We
invited
can't.
some of the newer people,
Oh,
they might not know that.
we
Anybody who
we
listens to
tried
me
to
knows.
we
Anybody who
try. Yep.
listens to me knows 100% that I stand against doxing. 100% in any condition. If I find and I did it and I told everybody when I believe that you've committed a crime, if I think that a child, an animal, or an elderly person's life is at risk, I find that those are acceptable. But that is the rule for me and the platform I'm responsible for.
And if somebody called the mayor, say of Tim and Angela's town, to tell them that they begged for a hotel room, uh, what
I
would you?
personally wouldn't do that.
And
I
how would you
wouldn't do
feel
it.
about a creator that did do that?
We disassociate with them.
Well, when I get permission to drop some of this stuff, y'all are going to have some hard discussions with each other. I don't drop anything until the person who sent it to me tells me that they're okay with it coming out. Some people fear
I mean,
retaliation.
Can
I
I ask
would
you one
hope.
other? I'm sorry. Can I ask you just one other quick question? You made a post that said that you felt like you had done things wrong and that you were taking accountability for it. However, you didn't say what you did wrong, and at the time, we didn't even have a clue of who you were. So